conservatives campus events debating students. President Trump calls the gunman an animal. He's praised Kirk as a martyr and patriot and will posthumously honor him with the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
I spoke to Erica, his wife, and we had a long talk, and she's devastated. She's absolutely devastated, as you can imagine.
Vice President Vance went to Utah and then took Charlie Kirk's casket and family to Arizona. Kirk's Turning Point USA organization is based in Phoenix. Now an update on Wednesday's school shooting at Evergreen High in Colorado that left 2 students wounded.
That teen shooter, only 16 years old, authorities saying he opened fire repeatedly at the Colorado high school. We now know Desmond Hawley rode the bus to school Wednesday morning before opening fire with a revolver around lunchtime. Officials say he hit one student inside of the school and another outside. Hawley then turned the gun on himself and later died at the hospital. The motive is still unclear, but authorities do say the teenager was influenced by an extremist network.
Fox's Chandler Painter. Navy midshipman's hospitalized, shot and wounded during an active shooter scare at the U.S. Naval Academy in Maryland that turned out to be a false alarm. The student reportedly mistook law enforcement that responded as a threat, attacked them, and was injured and returned fire. America's listening to Fox News.
Since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's greatest heroes and their families. Heroes like Mark Holbert. Mark enlisted in the United States Army and served multiple tours, including 3 in Afghanistan. On his 4th tour, he stepped on an improvised explosive device and lost 2 of his fingers and both legs. Tunnel to Towers provided Mark with a mortgage-free smart home, which enables Mark to live more independently. Support America's heroes, like Mark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos. Fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Xtra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10 Friday. Thank God it's Friday. I know it's been a pretty brutal week, but get a day or two to just recover.
Need a day to decompress.
Yeah, that's the word. I said recover. Decompress is the exact word I wanted to use. It's exactly right, dude. I tell you, I was really proud of the reception Donald Trump got at the Yankees game. To see him interact with the players was incredible.
To see the Trump dance on the field.
Dude, it's nuts to see the cheers of the USA, the chants. The moment of silence, obviously. Moment of silence last night at the football game in Green Bay. The NFL did a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. There's good out there. There's plenty of bad, man. Of course there's plenty of bad. I mean, that's all we talk about. It seems like sometimes it's bad. But there's plenty of good out there, and there's good people out there that genuinely care and genuinely want to do good and do right. And that's where you got to make your community. That's where you got to surround yourself. And you've said it a bunch of times. You got to surround yourself with those people, and be in those places where those type people are, and stay away from the crazy, because it's easy to find, man. If you don't have to look hard to find crazy.
So I have been like on this emotional roller coaster,
dude. I get it.
Like it's just what it's been. And I will tell you, I don't know. I share with the audience. I think a lot of it for me, like when I was growing up, I think my parents divorced when I was like 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And my dad was in town last week, had a great time. My mom gets in town actually on Saturday.
That's great.
I was like, I'm very close to my family. I'm very close to my parents. They were always, dad was coach, mom was mom. That's how it was. It wasn't like it was like, oh, it's, I don't know where everybody is. I'm like, y'all don't get along, is how it is. But I created a lot of barriers to emotions for myself.
Dude. I understand that.
A lot. When I was growing up. This week has been such a wrecking ball to that stuff. And I will tell you, I thank every single one of you, whether you direct message, whether you texted, whether You sent an email. Got a very nice voice message yesterday from a friend of ours. It's reinforcing the fact that what we do is important. But it's also allowed me to kind of let my guard down and be like, cool, I can be emotional.
Yeah, no,
I can spend my evening going, this sucks, I hurt, my kids hurt, and it's all right. Like, this is part of it.
That's being able to do that is the way you heal. I don't think people.
Well, I'm very good at shutting that stuff out.
Oh, I know. I think most men are. I think it's a dude issue a lot.
And last night was another version of me going, all right, I know how I normally don't partake in this stuff. I'm going to partake in everything that is what's been going on. Man, I must have listened to like 4 hours of Charlie Kirk. And it breaks you, but it builds you back up at the same time.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It was hard, but it was necessary.
I think his message is more valuable today than it was Wednesday. I think his message means more today than it did when he was living.
This is what the left screwed up. And I pointed this out on X yesterday, and I got to reiterate it. The street animals didn't know what they were doing.
No.
The top of the Democrat Party, why are they so pissed? Why are they so quiet? Why are they continuing to tell you the same thing, which is, well, it's the rhetoric on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's your side, a-holes.
Yeah. No.
It is. And what you have done is you have created a martyr. You have amplified a message 1,000 times. And this was a message that resonated not just with young men, and young men are where it's at. Man, my 14-year-old daughter knows all about this stuff.
Oh, of course she does.
Part of the reason why I believe that she is so religious, comparing to where she was like 4 or 5 years ago, is in part because of the influence of what she got exposed to, whether it was TikTok or whether it was any of this other stuff. It's Charlie Kirk. Like, that's what helped lead her in this direction, to be curious. And then from curiosity became strength. And those people are now, they're motivated in a way that those street animals could never understand. They don't know what they've done to America's youth.
I've never had a little cartoon put a lump in my throat so much.
Is it the microphone one?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Dude,
I
sent it to my son.
it's too much.
Dude, I sent it to my son. And I mean, my eyes.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I'll read it to you. It's it appears to be a little caricature of Charlie Kirk and what would appear to be Jesus standing with him.
And by the way, it's not overly elaborate.
No, it's
so plainly cartoonish.
Yeah.
Where it's somebody who clearly kind of has like this look of Charlie Kirk, and a cartoon version, again, not elaborate, like Saturday cartoon of Jesus with his arm around him, kind of leading him away from a microphone.
Yeah, microphone laying on the ground. I'll spin this around so if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. But there's a microphone sitting on the ground.
Well, that's one of those things that shows up at NFL games that gets thrown on the field. That's what you have on there right now.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant for it to be. But and it's the
man, that's a highlight of my week. Look at what Tug is shopping for. It's a marriage enhancement device.
Don't we all need one? Goodness gracious. Not at all what I thought it was. This is perfect little meme that made me cry, really.
Oh, it did. It did the same thing to me.
It literally put a lump in my throat.
But now I'm crying for other reasons.
So good. But
I bet on dark green too. Yeah, I know it did the same thing to me. Oh man, it got me so good.
And I've got obviously a cough, so pardon me on that. But yes, and the microphone's on the ground, and it says, "Lord, do you think someone will pick it up, Lord?" And Jesus says, "Someone will, Charlie." Someone will. And I don't know if that's us. I don't know if it's another kid like your daughter that's been so influenced by positivity, by doing things the right way. Or if it's all of us. Maybe it's all of us just marching in the right direction, rowing as a team and going in the direction that the good Lord would have us go in and that Charlie hoped we would go in and that we all want to go in. I think human beings naturally want to do the right thing. I think they get caught up in the wrong thing, and it's easy to get caught up in the wrong thing, and it's easy to just be like, it doesn't matter, when it really does.
Well, I think we can gravitate towards either way. Let's face it, being bad's kind of fun. What was it from my video that I wanted to play last week, Smokes with Cigarettes?
Yeah.
I like to do bad things.
Yeah.
Like, okay, some people gravitate that way.
I think there's a difference in smoking cigarettes, though, and the bad things.
Well, it's like an 8-year-old kid. He's like, my friend smokes with cigarettes.
Yes, I
I want to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
I want to do hood rat stuff with my friend. I like to do bad things. There's something appealing to that.
There is.
But there's something that's fulfilling about doing great things.
But isn't there this nature to be there's a nature to be rebellious, and that's kind of where I think that comes from.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the rebellious thing now is all the things that Charlie Kirk talked
Yes.
about.
And I will tell you guys this. So I have a good family friends of ours. And I will tell you that, like, for instance, it's my friend where I played golf with him like 3 weeks ago. If you were at our 680 tournament, I'm driving around in my cart and it says Carlos Medina, and the name underneath does not say Mark. It says volleyball boyfriend. So we're driving around all day, and everyone's like, so this is volleyball boyfriend, huh? I was like, yeah.
Does he have a name?
In fact, when we made, the turn, how we always, at all of our tournaments, we always have the giant scoreboard that tells you.
Super cool.
So there's Miles, there's Mark, there's myself. What does it say on that board?
Volleyball boyfriend.
It says volleyball boyfriend.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I was talking with his wife because my wife, his wife, and myself, we were trying to coordinate some stuff for homecoming. And our daughters both play volleyball together. And so we're trying to, who's going to pick up, who's going to drop off. This is what we're going to do. And she flat out told me yesterday, she's like, my son, because she's got, my friend's older brother, she's like, he's been bumming for like 24 hours. I was like, really? She's like, I didn't know how much that this really meant to him and meant to all of his friends. And the sort of, when we talked about this being young people's 9/11, the shock of it, and something that they spend so much time with, that has affected them to the point where if you got a grandson, if you know a young person in your life, check in with them. Because this has been a shocking moment. And you might say, well, it's just some podcaster. It's just somebody does a digital program. You don't recognize how many people that Charlie Kirk reached. And so I both celebrate it because I've seen the benefits of it to my daughter. At the same time, I lament all of this because I'm still checking X on an every hour basis going, so do we got the person or what?
I mean, there's the new video that and there's been a bunch of video, bunch of pictures released. Him jumping off the side of the building.
And am I wrong? Like every single time we get more information, I'm like, that's because they're getting further away. Like whenever
you mean the killer's getting further away?
Yeah,
like out of hand.
Yeah.
Well, I do believe there's probably a network of people helping him. There has to be. You don't.
Well, again, we talked about this. We saw this in Aledo, Texas. That was the shooting of the ICE station where there was one shooter with a rifle. There ended up being 12 additional people. They were kind of loosely banded together. They didn't know one another. They were all on the same sort of chat boards, and they decided, let's go and storm this ICE center. Now, a bunch of them were like, I didn't know somebody was going to shoot, but somebody shot.
Yeah.
Somebody ended up shooting a police officer. That does exist with a loose network of these people are all nuts. Okay, they're all way out there, and they all think that Charlie Kirk deserved this.
Yep.
And so if I didn't know that a United Healthcare CEO would have thousands of people that were banded together of like, hey, the shooter who killed him on the streets of New York's a hero. What do you think this feels like? These people are of the devil.
Absolutely, they are. And I'm glad you said it, man. Because sometimes I feel like I say it so much that it may lose.
No, it's pure evil.
It is. There's no other way to describe it.
And you and I were sharing this last night, and we'll get into some more of this. Right now, I am very pleased that there is a culture of, you got away with this for 10 years celebrating this stuff. You said what you want to say about Donald Trump. You said what you want to say about Justice Kavanaugh. Nothing ever happened to you when you were like, hey, I'm glad Steve Scalise got shot. Right now, this is where you know the worm is turning, and why you know that we've won the culture war, and why you know that we are on the right side of history and the right side of this thing. These people that have been celebrating this are getting fired by the dozens
and right
all over the place.
Maybe even thousands.
Oh, I bet it's thousands. I bet it's into the. It's getting.
I mean, there's one up in Cherokee County.
I sent
animal clinic right around the corner from my house. She's not getting any more business.
Yeah. Well, and they've taken her. They scrubbed her from the website. She basically was. She was
celebrating.
Celebrating. Worked at an animal hospital in Woodstock.
And again, we can say, well, she worked at an animal hospital in Woodstock. There's a beat writer for the Phoenix Suns. There is the director of communications with the Carolina Panthers. By the way, that's 1 out of 32 jobs. There's 31 other ones in the country. And that dude, as I pointed out on X, is going to have to go home to his parents and say, there's 32 of these jobs in the world, and I lost the one.
By being a ghoul.
Because you couldn't shut up. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Me too, dude.
And you know what? And I don't think it's cruel. I know that okay, so here's that part of me where it's like, I like to do bad things. I'm going to hang out with my friends who smokes with cigarettes. I should not be taking glee in this.
Dude, who takes glee in the murder of anybody?
Right. So there's something satisfactory about when you show yourself to be a monster and you get monster treatment.
And the pendulum swings.
I pointed it out on X yesterday. I was like, can you imagine how you have to go ahead and tell your kid you got to move out of your home because you can't afford it any longer, or that Christmas isn't going to be what it was supposed to be because you couldn't help but celebrate a man that you've never met, who doesn't have any influence at all on your day-to-day, and you got to explain, hey, this is why we lost the house, because I couldn't shut up on social media over a guy who almost got his head blown off.
Greensboro Community College professor, Greensboro, North Carolina. There's another one you can add to the list. There's so many
They're
of them.
extensive. This happening all around the country.
Yeah. Clark County Schools. That's Nevada, in southern Nevada. There's just, I mean, dude.
And by the way,
I've got a list as long as your dang arm.
We're not asking for a lot other than, can you just be a human?
But that's
like, I don't recall ever, and you're welcome to go through my Facebook because I don't post but maybe once a year. But you're never going to find where you had some death announcement and I went, well, too bad you lost your grandma. I was like, that's
ghoulish.
Yes.
That's evil. Nobody does that. No healthy person does that.
And then there was the stupidity stuff, which I have yet to respond to. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it today. I mean, just for fun, should I respond to some of the really dumb people that got back to me on X? I'll repost it. One of the people was, well, what about all of your racism?
Okay.
I was like, I tell you what, why don't you explain it and then tell me why I had to watch the Vice President of the United States
stand next to Charlie Kirk's coffin
with his widow crying behind it. It's like, tell me how you're equating some perceived racism associated with me or anybody else and how that justifies you in any sort of way, you idiot.
They've been pampered. They've been coddled. They've been told that silence is violence. They've been told that words are violence. There's no way to get it right. So they have this echo chamber that just tells them that anybody that they disagree with is Hitler, and they deserve everything that's coming to them, and they celebrate when they see it happen. That's what we've, for the last at least 5 years, if not longer, probably 10, maybe 20. That's what we've done, is we've coddled these people to believe that their reaction to anything, no matter how vitriol, is justified, and it's not. And it's never been.
I love you put it that it's justified. Like they somehow have to say what they have to say because that makes the world right.
That's exactly right. Because everything they have has such value. They add such value to the world.
Let me be very clear about something. Tug and I might have some friends that are pretty good at when it comes to if you wanted to, post something at us or anything else. 999 times out of 1,000, that's cool. Totally fine. Even when it's a little bit out there. The thing is that we have people that can search your IP and we'll know exactly who you are.
Lickety split.
And so when you respond to me by saying, this is hilarious, the chickens have come home to roost, I'll give you a little bit of time to think about deleting it. Because here's the fun part. My guy can have your name and your place of employment within about 20 minutes. And I'll send it right on over there. And then you can figure out how you're going to explain to your kids for Christmas, if you got any, or if you got a woman in your life, how suddenly that vacation is over, Christmas is over, why am I having to move out of my apartment? Okay? That is the game we're now playing. Okay? The gloves are off, the S is for real. Let's see how you handle that, because you're not going to be able to go through my feed and find one thing, no matter what is going on, where you're like, why was he celebrating Biden with a cancer diagnosis?
Never once. Never once.
Because I'm not a freaking ghoul.
I have no ill will toward another human being.
So stay after these people. And in the meantime, take care of your young ones, because it's a troubling time this week.
It is. You need to check in. And I'm sure you do already, but just check in at Extra time. Dude, I've called my son, text my son 12 times. How you holding up, man? How you holding up? Good, Dad. I'm good. Right on. That's all I need to hear. 6 o'clock hour brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. When we come back, the silver lining in the horrible assassination of Charlie Kirk. Next on Extra 106.3.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Glenn back until noon. Clay and Buck from noon to 3. And the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. Plus Jesse Kelly from 6 to 9. And Jimmy Vela from 9 to midnight. The voices you need all day with the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Good morning. It's Los for True Prep. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to be ready for anything. Don't be like Tug Coward. Tug is only ready to party. Tug is only ready to dance, right? That's especially on a Friday. That's what Tug is ready for. You need to be ready for any kind of craziness that comes your way. That's why I'm a big fan of True Prep. 1000 Kyle Parkway in Marietta, or go to trueprep.com. That's truprep.com. First off, freeze-dried food. I'm a big fan of food storage. I got stuff in my basement. It's for me and mine. It's for our family if we have some sort of weird scenario. In the case for us, we've already been through a hurricane one time in Florida. Then we also had that whole snowmageddon thing where we lost power for about 3 or 4 days. I want to make sure I got stuff just in case. That's where True Prep helps me out. Water filtration as well. Maybe you're an outdoor enthusiast. They have all the equipment that can make your time out there very comfortable and also very safe. But also, considering how crazy the world has been, when it comes to firepower, when it comes to personal security, whether you're at home or you're out and about, True Prep can help you out there as well. And also, even last month, they had 3 different workshops for first-time gun buyers. They're going to be having more of these. This is a regular thing that True Prep does have. All you got to do is go to truprep.com. They're going to take care of you on the front end with the proper firearm and the great price on ammunition, and also on the back end with training. It's all encompassing. That's what True Prep believes in doing. Their owners, they're Georgia Tech grads. Good dudes. They will get you squared away. Go to truprep.com. That's truprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
You protect your your physical health by choosing your doctors carefully. Protect your financial health by choosing an attorney carefully. An accident can be very costly. You want to receive the compensation you deserve. Call Van Sant Law. My friend David Van Sant will take care of you, trust me, very well. The number is 855-GA-INJURY. The website is vansantlaw.com. In the event of an accident, it could be the most important phone call you make.
An investment in your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of all Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Fox in the fast lane.
Denny Hamlin is having himself a season, and now he's secured a spot in the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs round of 12.
What a run from Denny Hamlin. He has led the most laps. Hamlin wins in St. Louis and books a spot in the round of 12.
That was courtesy of USA Network as Hamlin won the Enjoy Illinois 300 at Worldwide Technology Raceway on Sunday. With the win, Hamlin claimed his Cup Series best 5th victory of the season and the 59th of his career. Chase Briscoe, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Joey Logano rounded out the top 5. The Cup Series now makes a trip to Tennessee for the Bass Pro Shops night race at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's the final race of the round of 16, and 4 drivers will be eliminated from playoff contention Saturday night. Austin Dillon, Shane Van Gisbergen, Alex Bowman, and Josh Berry sit below the cut line, while Austin Cindric is 11 points up for 12th place. For Fox in the Fast Lane, I'm Joe Morgan, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Friday, September 12th. One of the 2 men indicted in the shooting death of 8-year-old Sequoia Turner outside an Atlanta Wendy's that was burned during Black Lives Matter protests in 2020 has been convicted of gang and gun charges in Fulton County. Jerian McKinney pled guilty to aggravated assault and other charges. Prosecutors say he chased the Jeep the young girl was in after another gang member fired shots into the vehicle. He was sentenced to serve 20 years in prison. American flags outside a Kennesaw business were stolen for the 3rd time in 2 years. A couple who works at Mulkey Enterprises replaced the 6 flags posted on Kennesaw Avenue before Thursday's anniversary of September 11th. Surveillance footage of the theft was turned in to police, but the couple's not seeking prosecution. They say they just want the stealing to stop. And more self-driving cars are coming to Atlanta. Rideshare app Lyft is launching its autonomous vehicle program in select parts of the city on Monday with limited hours. Lyft says trained operators will be in the vehicles during the launch in case they need to take control. Weather for today and the weekend, clear and sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
If you want to be encouraged, I'm going to give you some encouragement. Massive vigil on the University of Alabama campus for Charlie Kirk. Yankee Stadium. That one, Jere and I were talking about that one during the break. That one, I'm not going to lie to you, man. That one surprised me a little bit. That Yankee Stadium would take the time before the game with the Tigers and do a moment of silence.
I thought it was very classy.
Oh, me too. Oh, my gosh. The hat tip to the Yankees.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Well, we're not supposed to have, and it wouldn't matter if it was a prominent Democrat.
Of course.
We should not have political assassinations.
Of course.
Not in this way. And so I likened it to this, and this is another thing that was making me sick. Just sick to my stomach. So I have a friend of mine who went through a divorce, and during that time period, it was during like the 2021, 2022 period where everything had to be done through Zoom. So it was not hard because, those cases are public record. You could go watch this person's divorce.
Oh, God.
Like, it was awful. And so this is something where their kids had watched the courtroom divorce. And so I started thinking, how awful is it going to be that Charlie Kirk's kids are going to be so young, and then there's going to be a day where they're going to see how dad died. In the same way that, Kennedy's kids saw how that happened.
Yeah.
And that is, there's something that's so sad about that. And it was done so publicly. And it was done publicly intentionally. Like, if you're out to kill Charlie Kirk, I mean, if you want to make your political statement, you do it in front of 1,000 people. And that's what happened. That's another thing that turned my stomach.
Totally. And then, with technology being lickety-split, that 1,000 people becomes...
It was everywhere. Millions.
Everyone saw it.
You
I didn't even mean to see the video. I didn't want to see. I never want to see the video. Right? I still haven't seen the full video of the woman stabbed. I've watched it to the point, and then I didn't want to see it, and I saw it. My son called me, and he was like, "Dad, I just saw the worst thing that I've ever seen in my whole life. I actually saw it." He was much like me. He wasn't even trying. It was just there.
It was, I think, within about 14 minutes of it happening.
Yeah.
Because then my phone is blowing up, and here I'll give you an example. And this is from a good friend. I won't say his name. I've just known him for a long time. He says, "I think these suck Fs just killed Charlie Kirk." And that's when, at that point, I'm watching this stuff going, that looks generally awful. And you talk about the 9/11 for that age group, for that group of young people, the one who's there to represent you, to talk with you, to give you a voice. And because it threatens the power of those that have held power for a long time in this country, you got to go.
Dude, there's so many vigils that are popping up across the country. In Idaho, Central Florida, Long Island. There's so many people that are rallying to the cause of good that you should be encouraged. And it's tough to be encouraged. I mean, let's not talk about we can't eat, because it was so
sickening.
So sickening.
Saddening.
But be encouraged that your fellow Americans see it the same way you do. They're not going to allow this assassination, this awful, awful incident to derail them from their love of country, from their platform to speak their minds and to tell the truth. That's not going to be dissuaded at all. And Jeray brought something up during the break earlier. Do we expect we'll see a bunch because of college football coming up this weekend? Will there be sheets hanging out, windows that say...
They started at LSU already.
So the answer is yes.
Because he was scheduled for there in October. Or I think actually end of September, early October.
Will much like the New York Yankees did, will these college football programs, knowing how influential Charlie Kirk was to the majority of those kids gathered in that stadium to see a football game, will they take a moment and reflect?
And I don't believe this is an overestimation at all. This is fabric of society stuff. This was a man who had built his political empire based on, let's talk.
Yeah.
Free speech.
That's exactly right.
Instead of...
Prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong. In fact, for a lot of people out there, and this goes on both sides of the aisle, when they speak at a college campus, they get in front of a microphone, you sit in an auditorium, and they tell you what they think. And maybe there might be a Q&A session at the end.
And it's usually, hey, we got 15 minutes.
Here we go.
Whoever would get in, would get
Q&A.
in. Yeah, maybe.
Charlie Kirk would sit there for 2 or 3 hours, just be like, come walk up to the microphone.
And especially if you disagree, come up first.
And it wasn't a show. I mean, it turned into like, okay, it's what it's going to be. But the show was the discussion. There was no prepping for that. There was no, well, let's see if we can line. It's just if you wanted to talk, if you wanted to have a discussion, Charlie would give you some remarks, maybe to open things up, and now it's wide open. Let's go.
And he used his logic and his instinct and his wisdom to debate people in the most acceptable way that you can debate. There was no yelling. There was no screaming. It was always point for point. And I think that's probably what has spawned off. What's the other thing? The round table thing.
Surrounded.
Surrounded. There you go.
Surrounded.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is exact. That
concept.
Spawns from
Same
Charlie
concept.
Kirk.
Yeah, it's just more of a show. Now I do enjoy following Josie, redheaded libertarian.
Oh yeah, she's great.
She pointed out an interview that she did with Charlie Kirk from 2 years ago, and Charlie Kirk had a question for her, and it was a discussion. It was, how does somebody who's recognized as being libertarian, how does she reconcile not saying live and let live when it comes to the trans community, the trans movement? And she had pointed out what her history was when she was living in Massachusetts, of how her daughter had a particular situation, and how the first thing from the state was, well, she's trans. She's got to turn into a boy. And how she pointed out, this actually lines up with cultural Marxism. That is why the libertarian movement just doesn't say, oh, you feel like doing that? Okay, that's fine. But Charlie Kirk wanted her on because he wanted to ask about it.
Yeah.
He wanted to learn.
Yeah.
He wanted to have okay, so what is your opinion of this? Because this is how I feel about it.
Because I respect you enough to ask
And
you.
how does the libertarian, it's a discussion. If you're going to kill someone because you don't like that he likes to take part in discussions, then you can't possibly understand the civil society of America, where we all have to treat each other with a certain respect and a certain adherence to the law, while also sharing our ideas with one another that can be completely foreign and different.
It's crazy. Los and I, there's never been an encounter that I've ever seen Los have or me have with somebody that has a differing opinion, and there be anything but either, hey, agree to disagree and move on, or get into an actual discussion and hopefully.
The guy in the office with the Joe Biden tattoo, him and I were hugging it out last week, goofing around about getting ready for football season and what we've got to get organized. And we couldn't be more different politically.
And that's the way it has to be in a civilized society. Otherwise, it is nothing but jungle rule.
The civil society demands it.
It demands it, yes.
And as
it can't function without it.
And one of the points that Charlie Kirk has made over and over again, and I will reiterate it for him, the founders of this country based so much of the founding on, we have to have a just and religious society in order for freedom to really work the way it needs to work. That if you don't have a foundational aspect of recognizing where your place is in this world, and that you are unique and life is special, and that your freedom and your self-determination are all worth fighting for, those are important. If you don't have that foundation, you'll never be able to function and understand what the real gift of America is.
And that's what Charlie explained every time. He was a devout Christian. He loved his wife. He loved his children. He loved traditional values. He shared traditional values. And that unfortunately strikes at the root of everything that the leftist communist believes is evil, right?
Well, they need
because
chaos.
They need that chaos. They can't have a intact family because who's going to depend on them?
See, I could never be able to rewire Tug's brain, because Tug has a foundation of what he believes in and what he values, and he's experiences that in his life, and he's experienced what the benefits are to that portion of his life, whether it be his family, whether it be his religion, whether it be the way that he treats other people out in society. I could never convince him that, well, you're a victim and I'll fix it for you. But if you live in chaos,
yes,
if you live in a position where your life is all over the place, then suddenly that song that I'm singing it lures you in. You're like, man, Los makes a lot of sense. He's going to take care of some stuff for me. I know he's just asking me to buy into a little bit of communism, but hey, maybe it's just a little bit.
Think about the chaos those people in D.C. live in, and why those leftists have been so adamant about Donald Trump bringing in the National Guard to clean it up. They can't lose those people.
No, they need
them.
Mm-hmm.
They need them. They need the chaos. They need the destruction. And quietly, here's the thing that they won't say out loud. They will quietly in their group of people. We played Dan Turlington earlier, the Democrat, saying the most progressive leftist people I know are celebrating the fact that they can go get dinner in Washington, D.C.
They're like, life is pretty good now.
But they will never say it out loud. They will never say it on CNN or MSNBC or on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or any other. They will never say it aloud because it goes directly against what they believe in to their core.
It's going to give Donald Trump a victory. And as we've talked about this, like ad nauseum, why do you not glom on to victories when they're clearly there? Muriel Bowser is one of the first people. John Fetterman, to a certain extent, will be like, no, this is a good idea. There are moments where Donald Trump is handing you a victory that you can also take part in.
And wants you to.
And he's like, come on in.
That's the craziest thing about it, Los, is that dude is just like, come on, man.
It's like,
come on, the water's great.
Why don't we both take some credit for this? No.
He's a businessman. That's what businessmen do. They create relationships. They create bonds. They create bridges. And they bring people together for, in a business instance, for this, whatever this deal is. But he's doing the same thing. He's using the same principles as president to do it across the country. Can you imagine if Gavin Newsom would have been like, hey, this is a good idea. Let's clean all this up. And then all of a sudden, he would have looked so presidential.
Yes.
Now he looks foolish because there's plenty of video of him out there talking about fighting a war against Donald Trump and all that he's doing with ICE and all that he's doing with National Guards.
What you now have, Charlie Kirk has become a political and a Christian martyr. And now if you say, okay, Los, I think you're overplaying this. It's Charlie Kirk.
You're not.
Here's how I know this is right. Because people that have made a living putting videos together of Charlie Kirk that are of substance, we're not talking about just your crazy Aunt Peg or Jeff who you roomed with down the hall in college. These are the people like the Harry Sissons of the world that are going back and deleting every one of them because of how bad it makes them look.
Absolutely right.
Because it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that I called for violence or I called for, you need to deal with this guy. They are going back and trying to delete every single one of them. So there's been a race of people right now that are making it a point. Let's record every single time these people did this stuff and let's hold on to it. So the next time they try and say what they're going to say, put it in their face.
That's right.
Show that no, you called for this. You created the atmosphere for this.
Just like the Van Hollen audio that we played earlier, Senator Chris Van Hollen, who tweeted out, there's no room for this. And good, I'm glad that he did. But it sure goes in direct opposition of what he said the day before when he said this is war.
When he called for action.
You have to act. We're not asking you to act on anything. We're actually asking you to sit back and take the emotion out of it. As hard as it is, it's almost impossible to take the emotion out of it. Because someone who is beloved, someone who cherished the same things that you cherished and valued the same thing that you valued was taken. Do not act on that rage. Do not act on that anger. Find a way to channel it for good.
My only solace is being able to take the rage and emotion out of it and put it aside and go, okay, now what should we do from here?
Right.
And what was Charlie trying to do?
Yeah, that's right.
It's like, because
let's lift up his message.
There's no honor in going out and beating crap out of these people.
No.
It's a matter of, did I outthink you? Did I outbeat you? Did I outtalk you? And then I beat you at the ballot box.
That's
and
right.
That's what my job needs to be.
We're going to be smarter. We're going to be stronger. We're going to do everything the right way, because that's the way Charlie, that's the way he did it every day. He did it the right way. And if you go about it the way that they want you to, the way that they're trying to lure you in to being violent or to acting aggressively, you're no better than them. You're doing the exact same thing. You cannot do that. Be level-headed and do what is right. Do what is right. That's what we encourage you to do. Do what is right. Beat them, outsmart them, beat them at the ballot box. Beat them at their own game. Tug and Los, until 10. You can't now pretend to care about civility, but that seems to be what's happening on the left. Talk about it next on Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, September 12th. A big weekend in college football for the locals. Let's start with Georgia Tech. They're going to host 12th-ranked Clemson starting at noon tomorrow. That game will kick off at that point. As for 6th-ranked Georgia, they're on the road in Knoxville taking on 15th-ranked Tennessee. That game will kick off at 3:30. The Atlanta Braves, they welcomed into Truist Park the Houston Astros for a weekend series beginning tonight. The Braves look to play the role of spoiler against their 2021 World Series competitor. The Astros are currently tied for first in their division. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
I just did a quick Google search. How to maintain your HVAC.
I know what you're searching for.
Yeah, well, that wasn't supposed to be part of this. That's completely private. That's separate. That's a separate conversation. But I'll be looking for that a little later. I'm going to tell you about how to maintain your HVAC right now.
How do I keep cool?
Yeah, that's right.
Two choices. I prefer this one.
Yeah, that's right. And if you want to know the other, come back a little later in the show. We'll explain it all to you. It'll be shocking. It'll be shocking to you. It'll be surprising, I bet. But they tell you regularly change the air filters. It makes sense. Clear debris from the outdoor unit. Ensure the vents are unobstructed. You can, here's what they say, additionally, you can monitor for unusual smells and sounds. I'm like, wait a minute. What kind of smells do I need to look for? I mean, is it like a burning smell? Is it what is it that I need? What you need to do is let all this go. Call Central Heating and Air Conditioning at 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com and have them come out twice a year, take care of all this for you, and make sure that your HVAC works the way it's supposed to for as long as it possibly can. Extend the life of your HVAC. Let me tell you.
You said extend.
Yeah, that's right. Has nothing to do with the other conversations. I'm talking about extending the life of your HVAC. But the thing you need to do is reach out to Chuck and his team because they can take care of all of it for you. They do this for you. That way, when it's hot outside, your house is cool, and it's cold outside, your house is warm. It's that simple. Call 770-GET-HEAT.
That way your AC is throbbing with power.
That's right. And you have huge upside. Making sure that the house is comfortable and everybody's happy. And the wife too. Everybody's happy.
Sinner. Hey, it's Los here to tell you about a new, stress-free, and completely transparent way to purchase your next pre-owned car, truck, or SUV. It's with Tom Mitchell, the honest car guy. Tom, traditionally, I've been a payment buyer. How do you work with that type of buyer?
I have people that come in all the time and they want to spend $20,000. Okay, if their payments are $400 on $20,000, they don't realize without the doc fees, without all this other stuff, we can put them in a 22 or 23 model car and we can spend a little bit more money and have the same payment. So if you're a payment buyer, don't come in here just saying, I want to spend $20,000, because we can sit there and help you and we can put you in a newer car with lesser miles at a payment you need.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the honest car guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Fox on Football. I'm Jared Max. 7 months since the Eagles beat the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59 to end Kansas City's attempt at a third straight title. The Eagles and Chiefs will meet again this weekend, Sunday in Kansas City. America's Game of the Week on Fox, with Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt calling the action from Arrowhead, where the Chiefs will be looking to bounce back from their season-opening loss in Brazil to the Chargers. Kansas City, a small underdog at home against Philadelphia, which won the NFL season opener against Dallas. The Cowboys play another divisional game at home against the 0-1 Giants on Fox TV, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Among other early games on Fox, we'll see the 0-1 Bears at the 0-1 Lions. The 1-0 Steelers visit the 0-1 Seahawks. The 1-0 49ers at the 0-1 Saints. Coming off their Monday win over the Bears, the Vikings will play in the Sunday night game at home against the 0-1 Falcons. 2 games Monday, 1-0 Buccaneers at the 0-1 Texans, 1-0 Chargers at the 1-0 Raiders. Jared Max, Fox News.
The only thing better than covering all these Trump wins is watching the left implode over it.
Donald Trump is entertaining the world while he's changing the whole freaking planet.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bring you the news you care about most. From Atlanta legends and conservative voices you've relied on for a generation. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. Los was just telling me about this.
You're welcome, Central Heating and Air.
Sorry.
I'm going to gravitate towards anything that makes me smile and laugh, and you gave me like the highlight of my week this week. If you're just now joining the show, Tug is telling this story.
Very heartfelt story about
this cartoon that him and I both saw.
And it put a complete lump in my throat.
And it did the same thing to me. Like, I'm talking like tears. It's a picture of a microphone that is right in the front of the picture. And there is and again, it's very cartoon. It's not like it's overly extravagant, but it's a caricature of Charlie Kirk with Jesus and basically saying, you think anybody's going to pick that up?
And Jesus says to him, somebody will pick it up, Charlie. Somebody will.
Like you're good.
Don't worry about it.
And I was like, man, that's so touching. And you turned the computer around to show it to YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
Be like, I want to show you this.
It's so moving. I want you to see it yourself.
And it's right during the point of as your system scrolls down, and it's
touch screens will get you.
Yeah,
and it's the next incident of dong on the field.
It could have been.
I went to bed early. Was there one last night?
I haven't seen anything to say.
It's just it's
search history.
I mean, you have the betting industry now has turned into, because last week during week 1, just like there was at what was
the
it?
most absurd thing.
It's so incredible.
Started in the WNBA, then it showed up at
originally it started in the NFL.
So the NFL, whenever the Patriots would play the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo,
that's a whole different thing. That's a different color.
Somebody would always throw a donger,
a marital aid
on the field, and then that started happening at the WNBA. It showed up at what? The Players' Championship?
Yeah, over here at East Lake.
At East Lake.
It is showing up everywhere.
It showed up week 1 in the NFL as well. And so as Tug is scrolling through, like, I want to show you this picture of Jesus.
This moving picture of Jesus and
Charlie Kirk. And I go, well, that's a donger.
Yeah.
That's a marital aid.
I'm showing the pic,
You're like, take a look at this, YouTube.
And I turn around and I'm like, oh, that's not it. That's the wrong thing. I must have hit the wrong button. I've hit the wrong button.
Oh, my God. I saw it just scroll right into, like, I think it was like the betting odds on, like, the next one. I needed that so badly.
What is the likelihood this shows up on the field this weekend? Bet now with Polymarket.
Bet now with Polymarket.
That was unexpected.
We needed that. It's been a rough few days, and that was definitely needed. Definitely needed.
If nothing else, we want to laugh with you. And we will. We'll make fun of everything.
And it happened on Tug's computer, not mine.
It'll come to light at some point.
You're gonna have to be
my
real careful
obsession.
with touch screens. Gotta be real careful with
Well, that was the thing. I saw him as he's turning the computer and he's moving. I saw it like scroll way down. And I was like, oh, I don't know if that's going to show up correctly.
Jesus is gone. She's not there.
And I'm at the angle where the light is just right to where I can kind of make it out. And I'm like, that don't look like a cartoon of Jesus. Oops.
And that's definitely not a microphone.
No.
So that's what happens here.
Wonderful.
And we're just trying to get through it too, because we've laughed and we've cried and it's been such an emotional couple days for obvious reasons and good reasons. It's good to get this out. It's good to cry about it. I don't know if you heard, because you and I were texting back and forth during Clay and Buck, the story that he told talking to his kids about Charlie's kids potentially seeing this video one day, and
that
Clay Travis is just in tears.
That whole show, they were breaking down regularly. And I think like yesterday we did a halfway decent job of trying to convey what our emotions were at the same time trying to hold it together.
Yeah.
I think what was happening, for lack of a better term, a guy like Buck Sexton is thinking like he's a new dad.
Yeah.
Like his baby boy is like 7 months old. And to think, if you put yourself in those shoes, and every time he did, that was the end of the conversation.
Dude, I said this to my wife last night, and my son's 21. It's like, what kind of world did we bring this kid into?
Yeah.
And I don't have an answer. Because it's not a good world. I mean, which is the need for Christ, and I'm not trying to take this down a religious path, but this world is broken and it ain't getting fixed anytime soon. So you need people that you enjoy to be around, to be able to laugh at the things that weren't supposed to happen on the show, that has taken our mind away from this agony that we've all felt, this despair that we've all felt. I'm just glad to laugh with you, man.
What do we talk about?
I love you, brother.
I love you too. Community. Community is everything. I say it all the time. It's not me blowing smoke. True wealth is being around people you share community with, you share values with. Because no matter what's going on in your life, you're always going to find that community, and they're going to be the ones that pick you up. They're going to be the ones that help you out.
That's right.
It's never going to be I got $5 million in the bank. Nobody around to care about you.
Doesn't matter, man. Love you too, Jure, except for that crazy sweatshirt you got on, man. Get rid of that. And
come on.
I'd probably like you a little better.
I love you too. Now, if I can find community and $5 million,
that's right.
Again, as my smokes with cigarettes, I like to do bad things comes out.
Yeah, as Jure wears his stinking Alabama shirt.
He's ready to go for the weekend.
He is, and Los has got his dog shirt on. I got my Brave shirt on. And we welcome you to this show every day. 404-741-1230 at Extra 1063 across the social media platforms. We want this to be your family. When we come back, now the Democrats, they do want to point fingers all of a sudden. Next on Extra.
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 1063 and the Extra app.
At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you can take advantage of employee pricing on select new Ford models. That means you pay what Ford employees pay. No markup, no hidden fees. It's all part of Ford's bold campaign, from America, for America. While other dealerships may raise prices due to auto tariffs, Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs is stepping up, giving you the power to save big on American-made vehicles. Choose from bestsellers like the F-150, the rugged Bronco, the capable Explorer, and now when you purchase or lease a new Ford EV like the all-electric Mustang Mach-E, you'll receive a complimentary home charger and standard installation, making your switch to electric even easier. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting award-winning service from a locally family-owned dealership.
They're just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road. Visit them online at jimellisford.com.
Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you pay what we pay, where you can always expect the best.
Pete Davis here. Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. And the best part, you can play right now here in Georgia. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, passing yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. And you can start with as little as $1. I play too. This season, I'm looking at Michael Penix Jr. to go higher on touchdown projections and Drake London to go higher on receiving yards. It's simple, it's fun, and it keeps me locked into every play. Download the app today and sign up with promo code 1063 to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code 1063. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog, and you can be next. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Georgia. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and onshore. Discover more at Viking.com.
Fox Facts.
As the temperatures start to drop, you're probably going to be hearing a lot more sneezes. And you've probably said it yourself. Bless you. But why do we say it? The tradition goes back to the Middle Ages, when a sneeze was often seen as a sign that your body might be vulnerable to illness. Some even believe sneezing could expel the soul or let in evil spirits. Saying God bless you or simply bless you was a way to protect the sneezer or offer a quick prayer for their health. Pope Gregory the Great even recommended it during the plague in the 6th century. Over time, it became less about superstition and more about common courtesy, a polite acknowledgement that someone sneezed. So as the colder weather rolls in and sniffles start spreading, remember that little phrase, viewed today as a polite gesture, may have been keeping people a little safer for over 1,000 years. Matt Murphy, Fox News.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I think progress is being made. He's an animal, total animal. And hopefully they'll have him and they'll get him.
President Trump will be on TV on Fox and Friends next hour. Also says he had a long conversation with Kirk's widow and she's devastated. Vice President Vance flew Kirk's casket and family from Utah to Arizona, where Kirk's Turning Point USA organization is based, and the president says he'll attend the funeral. As for the manhunt,
the weapon used, a bolt-action rifle, was later recovered in a nearby wooded area, according to investigators who so far have not commented on the engraved messages which were left behind on both the firearm and ammunition. So far, again, the FBI has declined to comment on this. We've also got new, clearer images of the person of interest, and they also give us a better view of the man's face and the clothes he was wearing. A baseball cap with a triangle logo, dark sunglasses, and a black shirt with an American flag and eagle.
Fox's CB Cotton outside Utah Valley University, where Kirk was assassinated Wednesday while addressing a crowd. A U.S. Naval Academy student is hospitalized after this happened.
There was an on-campus lockdown at the Naval Academy because of what turned out to be a false report that a disgruntled, dismissed midshipman had returned, armed, posing as military police, knocking on dormitory doors. A Navy student sheltering in the dorms under that lockdown order mistook a real naval security officer clearing the building as the falsely reported active shooter.
Fox's Chris Foster, that student attacked that officer, then was shot and wounded. We're learning more about Wednesday's Colorado school shooting and the gunman, a 16-year-old student at Evergreen High.
He was radicalized by some extremist network.
Jefferson County Sheriff spokesperson Jackie Kelly. Now that boy is dead after wounding two fellow students in the school. He turned the gun on himself. The victims are in critical condition. America's listening to Fox News.
Since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's greatest heroes and their families. Heroes like Mark Holbert. Mark enlisted in the United States Army and served multiple tours, including 3 in Afghanistan. On his 4th tour, he stepped on an improvised explosive device and lost 2 of his fingers and both legs. Tunnel to Towers provided Mark with a mortgage-free smart home, which enables Mark to live more independently. Support America's heroes, like Mark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Finally, there is conservative talk in Atlanta, Georgia.
Tug and Los until 10. Thank you for being here on a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We are going to have the discussions that most don't, most won't. And then we're going to sit back and we're going to laugh too. We're going to get that done today. We just spent the last hour laughing. And it was much needed. And we want you to laugh with us.
That's why you get Unskinny Bop to open up the 7 o'clock hour.
Come on.
Tradition unlike any other.
What more could you ask for?
Doesn't matter what I've been through during the 6 o'clock hour, including how Tug has wronged me. Once I get to Brett Michaels, my virgin eyes, there are certain things that you just...
Poor Brian Finneran down the home. Former Atlanta Falcon.
I went over to him. I was like, let me tell you what Tug did to me.
And he just said, you can't do that. He said, that's unacceptable. That's what he said.
He said something very funny to another one of our coworkers who talked about how he had gotten a random staph infection while he was in Miami. And he just goes, well, stop putting your hand in toilets. And that
solid life advice.
That got me.
That's hard to argue.
Because I would just like to think, if your advice, which is very like 4-year-old, stop putting your hand in toilets.
Well, argue with it. Give me the other side of the argument. Like, how do you argue that?
Maybe think that there's an adult out there who just can't like as I joked around, maybe you
I'll
just
be there in a minute.
keep dropping your phone in the toilet, or maybe you just randomly keep fishing around in the toilet for stuff.
Honey, I'll be there in a minute. It's just
put my hand in here.
Just putting your hand, just shaking up the water.
Can you imagine if that was just your thing? Like you just had to. It happened to be your OCD thing that every time that you went to go and take care of your restroom and you flush everything, on the way out you're like, and I got to dip my hand in this toilet.
I'll be right there, sweetheart.
I'll be right there.
Don't wait up.
That's how you end up with a staph infection, according to former Atlanta Falcon Brian Finneran.
Because if your eye itches after that,
then
there's no telling what kind of junk you're in there. Can I throw myself under the bus? This is one thing that I can't remember if I've told y'all the story or not. It was one night after a concert, had too much, and I'm brushing my teeth as I'm, ending the evening and relieving myself, and just doing a lot of things at one time. When you've had too many, you just it's the craziest things.
It's a French fries.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's good.
And then all of a sudden, apparently, lose my grip and toothbrush right in the toilet.
Oh yeah, you got to get rid of that.
Yeah. Well, it's a Sonicare, so my wife
just can't let it go.
My wife fishes it out.
Oh,
she's a good dude. My wife is a good woman.
She drop it in a bunch of alcohol.
Yeah,
better boil that thing.
So she, obviously throws the head away, and then she begins. She cleans it, man.
Did she say did she go Jerry coward?
No, I'm sure, or probably worse. She probably. I bet there were some swear words in there. She doesn't swear a lot, but I bet there was a few in there. Yeah. But I didn't remember it the next day.
Oh no!
I had no idea, and she was like, the next evening, brushing my teeth, whatever, and she was like, "Do you remember dropping that in the toilet?" And I was like, "I don't. No, I don't. I dropped my toothbrush." I was like,
"Oh,
the one that I'm using right now."
That's wonderful.
She was like, "Oh, I've cleaned it really, really well." I was like, "I don't care. I don't know that this is a good idea."
Why does it taste like vodka? It's been sitting in vodka all night.
That's right. She cleaned it all up, but yes, I'd dropped my toothbrush.
Your Sonicare.
I dropped my Sonicare in the toilet.
Look how wealthy with his drawbridge and his Sonicare.
Oh yeah. The Sonicares are like $29 now. They used to be hundreds. They're really
Well, he got it
now.
when it was hundreds.
I did not.
That's why she fished it out of the toilet.
That's right.
Because for
that's not a throwaway. They don't give those out of the dentist.
Yeah, for $29, that belongs to American Standard.
That's
right. Like that. It belongs to you.
Yeah, but yeah, it was one of the grossest things. And then she didn't tell me until after I've used it again that I had done this.
So gross.
Yeah, so gross. It's kind of like sticking your hand in the toilet. Very similar to that.
And that's how your face got staph.
That's exactly right. That's why I have this snot going on all through my face.
Staph infection in my face. My Sonicare fell in the toilet.
And I can't quit blowing my nose or coughing and snot rockets and all that sort of stuff. But that's the kind of Friday it is. A little bit unhinged and off the rails. And if you want to be a part of it, 404-741-1230. The Democrats, it's interesting to hear them now saying, well, let's not point fingers.
Oh no! I mean, they're as much to blame as we are.
Without a doubt.
We all got to take down the rhetoric.
It really is all of us.
No, it's not. It's you.
You've been calling Donald Trump 10 years. You've been calling him Hitler, and it has come home to roost. Because you have to believe that the crazy person that assassinated Charlie Kirk felt like they were on a mission of freedom. They saw Charlie Kirk as the Fuhrer. They saw him as this evil person. They probably had no idea what he actually said. Like most people that have celebrated his death, they don't know what he actually said. They just know what they've been told he was saying.
All right, tinfoil hat. You ready to go?
Yep.
All right, let me put this thing on here for a second. So I did do the deep dive into all of the 4chan and all the information that's out there. First off, if you do anything that makes national news, the amount of people that want to get involved in an investigation and can actually find information is pretty incredible. Like, there are people that will spend it's almost like, I don't know if you ever saw this story, and I think it went through Netflix, but like the New York Times years ago had this situation where it was based on medical care. And what it was if there was a mystery diagnosis that somebody had, they would float it out to their network, and basically anyone from around the world could respond back of like, I had the same diagnosis. And the whole idea was, find somebody else who has this mystery diagnosis so you can find out how other people are being treated around the world. Very helpful.
Yeah, super
very
smart.
helpful.
Yeah, build a network, of course.
In this case, when the police, when the FBI are trying to do what they're trying to do, man, when you have people that are willing to spend like 6, 7, 10 hours on their computer, and then you times that by 100 people that are willing to share information,
working together,
the amount of people that were like, look who was talking to, in this case, like Charlie Kirk. Doesn't this look like this person that you have as a person of interest? Man, I don't know if that is.
No, of course not.
But it's interesting that somebody was willing to go back through probably 100 hours
at least
of Charlie Kirk being on campuses, or at least saying, here's the area and we'll see who he's talked to maybe at any point if somebody felt insulted. And in this case, this person, again, I'm not associating him to this particular crime, but they were so wildly crazy. And Charlie Kirk so wildly insulted them without insulting them. Just basically
just shut down the argument.
Just shut down the argument.
Yeah.
That maybe that was what set a crazy person off.
Yeah, you could see that. And I admire people because they want to do good. I think there's so many people out there that have the desire to do good. And they're like, how do I do good? I don't know how to do it as a reporter or as a police officer, but I know how to use this AI.
Yeah.
I know how to network people. I know how to get a lot of people to look at the same thing to see if we see some sort of pattern come out of it. And then people's obsession's not the right word, people's very deep interest in true crime and solving crimes and issues.
That's a huge factor. You and I, because we're in this industry, the explosion of true crime podcasts and the amount of people that want to get involved, the amount of people that want to help out an investigation. One of the interesting factors that happened yesterday was when the FBI released the photos, the amount of people that went to AI to enhance it on their own to
make
give you
videos out of it.
Let me give you a video representation. Now, that's not difficult to do, but the fact that they're FBI was like, okay, let somebody do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a video representation of this person.
FBI said they had over, I think it was 7,000 tips, and it's the most since the Boston Marathon bombing.
Yeah. Since the bombing in, what was that 2013?
I think so. Yeah. They made the movie about it with Mark
Patriots
Wahlberg.
Day.
Yes, which was really, really good. It's one that I happened to see, one of the few.
I'm going to find you in a boat.
That's right. I think I'm encouraged by the outpouring of
this is the positive end of this.
Yes, it is, dude. People whether they genuinely care or just
want to
they're interested.
Get involved.
They're just interested.
Because everything that's coming right now out of the Democrats is this cover your ass scenario.
Oh, totally.
You know, as we're pointing out, Schiff and Jeffries and Chuck Schumer we've got to tone down the rhetoric. Jimmy Kimmel last night. Well, this is on both sides. No, it's not. Only one side is being shot.
That's right.
Okay? You happen to have a collection of voters who are nuts, who have a large amount of mental illness. And then you're weaponizing them by saying that Tug and I and everybody else over here, that we're all Satan. So these people justify their existence by, can I kill Satan? Can I kill Hitler? Can I kill these people?
He felt like this person was so manipulated by media and probably by that network of people that believes in and trusts in and has community with. They genuinely saw Charlie Kirk. Remember those old Hitler videos when he's just up there just screaming and pointing and hollering?
Yeah, late 30s Germany.
That's what the killer saw in Charlie Kirk. That's not what Charlie Kirk was espousing, but that's what he saw because he's been programmed, he's been conditioned to believe that anything that goes against his natural belief system or his taught belief system is evil. It's as simple as that. Evil. And what does evil need to be? Destroyed.
Well, it needs to be gotten rid of.
That's right.
It needs to be dealt with. And the only way to justify your otherwise probably meager, non-existent, unimportant existence, let me go deal with evil. You have people that join the military in part because they're looking for direction in their life.
That's right.
And I think that is oftentimes it's a great productive direction to deal with your life. This is their version. I don't have any direction. I don't know where a life is going. What if I do something for the cause?
I'll be appreciated. I'll be adored. I'll be lifted up on a pedestal on social media. All of these people that we gather with, that we communicate with, that we are destructive with, or just have common, as bad as the communication is.
You'll know my name, and a bunch of other crazy people will talk about me all day long.
Forever. I'll go down in history as someone who did something extraordinary.
That's why I'm very surprised that we don't have this person in custody as of yet. Because part of what we've now seen, there is such a thing as, for instance, serial killers that do want to get caught eventually.
They always leave clues, right? You've talked about that
because they want to have the celebrity portion of it. They want to be apprehended and be like, okay, you got me. Now tell my story to everybody. Everyone's going to know my name. It's actually very surprising that we're now getting into, 34 hours since this murder, since this assassination, and the person is still on the run. Yeah, you have to think there's got to be some sort of network of help.
Yeah, of Antifa. I keep coming back to Antifa. It has to be.
Well, okay, so one of the people that was floated, and again, not give you a name because we don't know any of this stuff. It's all at this point internet sleuths. But I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, some of them have solved things in the past.
Dude, the Minnesota shooter.
Yes.
The internet sleuths had, because they took down the YouTube channel, the internet sleuths went back and used the archived pages. They went back and got everything that YouTube tried to take away from the public view. They were able to go back and secure, and you and I were able to look at it and go through it.
I mean, the reason why we found out what happened to Gabby Petito is because the pictures that she had posted, you had internet sleuths figure out where the location of the van was. In the middle of the wilderness, so that's got to be right off of here. Here's where it's going to be. You can probably find, and sure enough, that's where they found her body. I mean, there is a benefit to this stuff.
Sure.
All right, with that being said, you do have the scenario of one of the people that has been floated out there was part of an anti-fascist gun shooting club.
And if you recall what we talked about yesterday, it's been widely reported, it's not been confirmed, but widely reported that there was messages, anti-fascist Antifa messages and transgendered messages on the actual ammunition
bullet casings
that was there.
Yes.
That now that is part of this investigation. They've not confirmed that. No,
that is an internal memo that has been leaked that was going around the FBI and the ATF from yesterday.
But it sure would indicate what you're talking about. If those things are both correct, they would dovetail.
This is so bad for the leadership on the left. This is so bad.
And they know it. And that's the crazy thing.
That's why they're playing this. How quiet have they been?
As quiet as a mouse.
And all they can tell you is, well, we need unity at this point. Now, every now and then you'll get, like when you're Bernie Sanders, there's no place for political violence, cowardice. All right, good. I'm glad you did that. The rest of them have turned into, well, it's on both sides. No, it's not. Not like this. Not like this. I beat you at the ballot box. You're the one who's getting out the bullets.
And it seems there's no end to your desire to end the lives, to end the message of people like Charlie Kirk or people like Donald Trump, people like J.D. Vance, people like you and I.
This is the issue that they're running into. We've talked about it in the past. When you have an organization like Antifa, they're your rabid dog. And eventually Antifa bites you. You're like, oh man, that made us look bad. We're not gonna be able to win elections. This makes us look terrible. And we talked about what happens when the street animals, the street communists do something that makes the main ones look bad. Here it is. It's right here. And the problem is they've spent the better part of 10 years preaching an ideology. I don't recall, and again, I've been around a bit, all right? I don't recall during the early aughts, what was the worst thing you could say about the Republicans? Well, they're warmongers.
Yeah.
All right? And George Bush, he's dumb.
Yep. Yeah,
all right?
That was their big
so that's what they had. What happened during the 90s? Well, they want to make you go to work to get welfare. Newt Gingrich and these people, they're just mean.
Mean-spirited, mean-hearted.
Ronald Reagan. Well, he's just dumb. He's just an actor.
An actor, yes. And he has dementia. Don't forget that.
All right, how about what happens when you say he's Hitler?
That takes on a different meaning altogether, because that's not even a step above, dude. That's the next stratosphere.
The rhetoric jumped up in part because Donald Trump was not part of the system. He was not a Bush. He was not a Cheney.
And he was disrupting.
And he was disrupting what they were doing. So it was, how do we ramp it up? And now they can't put that toothpaste back in the tube. They have made a whole mess of people that were already on their SRIs and all their other issues. They are inflamed. They are crazy to the point where, and we went through it to start the show, you got people being fired all over the country because they can't keep their mouth shut.
They're so unhinged.
They're so unhinged, they cannot keep from celebrating a political assassination.
And the other thing is they want to rub it in your face.
Yes.
To make sure you know how they feel. They want you to know that they're celebrating.
And the wild part is some of them then try and back off and they're still getting fired. And I'm like, well, too bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if this wasn't a call that TMZ should go away.
Dude, completely go away.
For celebrating in the background. I don't buy it for 1 second when they told you, no, we were watching a car chase.
Dude, there's a new video out there on social media that lines up all the timelines, and it tells you exactly when that happened, and it was nothing to do with the car chase.
The TMZ newsroom was celebrating Charlie Kirk being murdered, being assassinated.
Do not consume that, because they do not believe in you. They do not believe in your values. Stay away from that filth. This is the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. When we come back, the torch lit and carried by Charlie Kirk is being picked up and toted again. Next on Extra 106.3.
Get connected to Extra 106.3 on all your favorite apps. Then download ours and stream the station across Georgia. We're live online at extra1063.com. Stream live video from the studios on YouTube. And of course, Kimmer, Bortz, and your favorite Extra shows in crystal clear digital on the Extra 106.3 app.
I have a suggestion for you. Good morning, it's Los. Give Tom a call. Who's Tom? He's the Honest Car Guy. You've heard the ads out there. HonestCarGuy.com. That's HonestCarGuy.com. Let's face it, a lot of these, and you'll hear them in the future, testimonials of people that Tom has worked with. And Tom, when it comes to getting you into your next vehicle, can do so and save you a crazy amount of money. All right, and that's the whole key to it. Go to HonestCarGuy.com. That's HonestCarGuy.com. Or give Tom a call, 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1. All you got to do, you just have the make and model in mind, and Tom goes to work from there for you. You're going to avoid all of the crazy dealership fees, and Tom is well aware of them. He's been running dealerships in the state of Georgia for a matter of decades. He is able to show you, hey, here's the car price. Here's where we're able to get this whole thing. Let's secure it, and all you owe over to Tom after that is the Honest Car Guy fee. That's it. That's the model. That's how it works. Now, if you're working with Tug is known as the dishonest car guy. You don't want to work with Tug.
Come on, let me sell you a car.
You want to work with Tom. Tom's going to go ahead and get that car.
Who's Tom?
No matter where it is in the country, as he jokes around about it, he'll get it in your driveway within a couple of days.
Come with me. I'm the dishonest car guy.
And Tug is the dishonest car guy. It might be months. You may not even see the car. In fact, you might just have just a couple of rims that show up.
Pay me first.
That's right. And then his cousin will just steal some rims, and that's what ends up in your driveway.
Curtis, come back.
You don't want to deal with that. Go to honestcarguy.com. That's honestcarguy.com. Give Tom a call. 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1.
Calling all contractors. This is Devin Stovall, Stovall & Company, and we're here for you. We're a third-generation, family-owned and operated company for 75 years and just opened our 11th location in Canton on 9500 Union Hill Road. We're proud to provide your wholesale irrigation, nursery, and landscape supply needs. How do you envision your dream outdoor space for you or your customers? We're here to fulfill them all. We all take pride in special requests and shipping right to your job site. Here at Stovall, we have it all. Check us out at StovallINC.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for True Prep. True Prep, Atlanta's preparedness superstore, is not only the go-to location for security and preparedness, it's also the hot spot for incredible savings. Visit True Prep's new deals page to discover hot sales and clearance items on firearms, prepping gear, and more. Then, check out the used and consignment page for top quality guns and gear at unbeatable prices. Both pages update automatically throughout the day as new products are added. So check back often to snag the best offers. Check them out now at TruePrep.com. That's TRUPrep.com.
All right, let me tell you about Relief Factor. Some people talk about getting their life back like it's a cliche, but if you've lived with pain, real daily, unrelenting pain, you know it's not just a phrase. It's a goal. It's a milestone, sometimes a desperate prayer. You start making trade-offs without even realizing it. Maybe you stay home instead of going out. Maybe you pass on a family trip because you're not sure you can handle the walking. Maybe you just start shrinking the size of your daily plans a little bit at a time. But what if there was a way to push back just a little bit? Relief Factor. It's not magic. It's science backed by doctors, designed to target the underlying inflammation that causes so much of our pain. It is a daily supplement that helps your body do what it was made to do: heal, move, and live. With consistency, patience, and a little hope, Relief Factor could be a step forward in taking back more than just your mobility. It could allow you to take back you. So give their 3-week quick start a try for only $19.95. Try it for 3 weeks. Visit relieffactor.com. Take it as directed. 1-800-4RELIEF.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Friday, September 12th. One of the 2 men indicted in the shooting death of 8-year-old Sequoia Turner outside an Atlanta Wendy's that was burned during Black Lives Matter protests in 2020 has been convicted of gang and gun charges in Fulton County. Jerrion McKinney pled guilty to aggravated assault and other charges. Prosecutors say he chased the Jeep the young girl was in after another gang member fired shots into the vehicle. He was sentenced to serve 20 years in prison. American flags outside a Kennesaw business were stolen for the 3rd time in 2 years. A couple who works at Mulkey Enterprises replaced the 6 flags posted on Kennesaw Avenue before Thursday's anniversary of September 11th. Surveillance footage of the theft was turned into police, but the couple's not seeking prosecution. They say they just want the stealing to stop. And more self-driving cars are coming to Atlanta. Rideshare app Lyft is launching its autonomous vehicle program in select parts of the city on Monday with limited hours. Lyft says trained operators will be in the vehicles during the launch in case they need to take control. Weather for today and the weekend: clear and sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10, 7 o'clock hours brought to you by Van Sant Law Group. If you're in an accident, make the right call. VanSantLaw.com. 404-741-1230 is the number. At Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. I was just talking to Los during the break about this video that's been shared by Hunter Kozak. He was questioning Charlie Kirk right before he was shot. And he says to CNN, I walked up there. The point I was trying to make is how peaceful the left is right before he got shot. And the kid is just devastated.
He's bawling.
It is.
Well, it's shocking.
It is, because he truly believed what he was saying. He's been told to believe that for so long. He's been conditioned to believe that for so long. And when he saw it play out exactly opposite in front of his eyes in terrifying fashion, it's shocking.
I say it all the time. You can't make them take the red pill. Like, you can lead them to the red pill. But
what's the old saying? You can lead a horse to water, we can't make them drink.
You have to take it on your own. I can lay out this stuff all the time, and I'm highly appreciative for those of you that are like, yeah, Los, okay, you totally explained that to me. But I can't make you ever change your worldview until you start seeing the world differently.
Dude, it's like a teacher trying to teach a child. If that child is being rebellious and does not want to learn, they will not learn.
If you keep saying 2 + 2 is 5, you're never going to get it's 4 until it kind of hits you. Man, that is a bad way to get a red pill like shoved right in your face. Horrible, and he took it right in front. Like, oh my God, my entire worldview is completely wrong.
It's just, it's completely wrong and shattered. Everything I believed in is gone, is now completely gone. And everything they told me was a lie. Everything I was told to believe was fake. And now I have to take the red pill. I don't have any other choice. Well, and you could see him.
I think that video is the red pill.
Yeah, that's right. And to be there in front of it, to see it happen live.
To see him post that video and to make the point about how I was there to explain that the left is peaceful.
Yeah.
And then you saw a guy die in front of you. How peaceful. I mean, that's how much more obvious can your point that it's wrong? And let's face it, Charlie Kirk spent the better part of a decade explaining to people about how their points were either justified or not. And it was an open dialogue. It was a discussion. If you want to tell me like the last thing he did with his life outside of going home to Jesus was, I made it one more point that your view is wildly wrong. And he paid for it with his life to do so.
And was willing to. That's the other thing. And I can't remember who brought this up or where I saw it, but they talked about the bravery of Charlie Kirk. And to be honest, it didn't cross my mind. It hadn't crossed my mind through all this. But now, obviously, hindsight being 2020, he was braver than anybody else. He went into the lion's den, took all the slings and arrows figuratively, and then paid the ultimate price for just speaking truth.
I think this highlights two things. The first one is you see what has gone on when you have other conservative-oriented speakers that go on campus, and it's high security, and then there's always the I'm going to tell you what I think. Here's my speech. Maybe there's a little Q&A, and then things do what they do. Like, for instance, I still remember the whole story of Riley Gaines being stuck at Cal.
Yeah.
Where she's like barricaded into a room because these people are nuts.
And they're animals.
And that's what they're doing to her. You have a lot of people that won't do those campus tours because of it. But Charlie Kirk had like the special magic pass. It was because he was going on campus to talk with you. So you did have the communist animals that were like, come on campus.
We can't wait.
We can't wait to tell you you're wrong. Mm-hmm. And that was different. It was the way he went about it. He was welcomed in a lot of cases onto campus. And even the campuses that weren't really sure they wanted him, he would still do like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people so that there was a discussion. Now, I think about moving forward. You've had people, whether it's the Alex Joneses of the world. Not going to lie, I like him on occasion. He's just crazy enough.
I know.
He's just nutty enough.
And then we'll have just enough information to make you go, he may be onto something.
I mean, he's the one who told us when the FAA and the government under Joe Biden was trying to bring back the mask mandates on planes. And sure enough, just like he said, I'm like, okay, that happened. He has good information from these people. Yes, at one point, I think he was dealing with a lot of mental health issues, probably some alcoholism, and he said some things he probably shouldn't have. But now that he's clean and looks good, the information's pretty good.
He does look healthy.
He's done well.
Good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's dropped a lot of weight. Like he looks like a totally different dude. Yeah, and he looks buffed up.
He looks like he's been to the gym a little.
I was like, good for you. But so he was one of them. It's like, I'm doing the campuses. He's like, we've got to do this for Charlie Kirk. Let's jump up and let's do the campuses. And one of them, and I'm with Neil Bortz on this, I like Ben Shapiro. I can't listen to Ben Shapiro. It's really hard to listen to.
It's so fast,
but it's good information.
No, the information you can. I love to read what Ben has said.
Yes, I think he's a brilliant guy.
Me too.
I think that if put it this way, if he was ever to go like, "Hey, Los, Tug, I'd like for you to come work for me," I'd be like, "Slow down. Can you put it in a voicemail? I got to slow this thing down."
I'm not sure what you just said.
I'm not sure what you just said.
I'm sure it's valuable. I don't know what you said.
But so this was Ben Shapiro yesterday. Now, he was already planning his own campus tour. Now, here's part of the issue. A lot of people don't want to do what Charlie Kirk does because that's Charlie's jam. Now it's turned into you got to do it the way Charlie does it. And a guy like Ben Shapiro is 100% perfect for that. He was on CNN. He's been touting a book. And he just tore the panel apart last week. I can't imagine what he would do to a bunch of college kids. Now he's got to slow it down a little bit. But this is what Ben Shapiro had to say when the word got out. Well, he's canceling his campus tour.
Now, it's still up to us. I saw a lot of rumors online today. I was made aware of this by my team. that I canceled some sort of college tour. That's I saw those rumors. They are false. I will be coming to college campuses, many of them this year. So will we all, I am sure, because we're Americans and we're not going to be deterred. Charlie's voice is not silent. We're going to pick up that bloodstained microphone where Charlie left it. And to those who would intimidate, who would seek to stop us, who would seek to end free discussion, who believe that they have ownership over public spaces and can violently threaten and kill people who speak freely, we are not going to stop. And I have two words. You.
Woo! Now, that version of Ben Shapiro I really like. Like, that's ideal. And let's, I know this sounds crazy. If I wanted to have a pretty hard life, you know what I would do? I'd probably go to a prison. You drop Tug and I in prison, things are going to be problematic for us. If I wanted to get caught up in the, oh my God, look how violent my life is, I'd probably go to a border town near Mexico. All right? Right now, when it comes down to you're a conservative-oriented person, especially one in the media, the most dangerous place you can go to is a college campus. And that sounds nuts, but it's true.
It's supposed to be the idea, the exchange of ideas, teaching you how to think, teaching you to debate each other the way Charlie Kirk did. And yet, most of the teachers, 99% of the faculty and staff despise you, don't want you to think. They want to tell you what to think. My son's in a class right now. It's so rare that it's happened. He's been very fortunate. But this professor he has, he cannot wait to tell you what to think. Jacob said it's the worst class I've ever had.
You're in a communist incubator.
And let me tell you, and he is not afraid to share his communist ideas.
So when you're there, understand that particular professor or that particular group of teachers, particular group of professors are filling young minds with such gobbledygook that some of them who already are probably having some mental health care issues, because let's face it, if I'm talking to 1,000 kids every semester,
there's a percentage of them. You are training up a communist ideology coupled with craziness. The most dangerous place that a Ben Shapiro, a Tucker Carlson, a Charlie Kirk, the worst place you can go to is a college campus. And yet, here is now the torch. But that's the thing.
This is what you got to do.
You have to be brave enough to go into the fire. You have to be, and Charlie was in that, and that's kind of where we started. I didn't realize how brave he was by doing that exact thing. I mean, I knew they didn't want him there. At least the percentage didn't want him there. And I knew they yelled at him, and I knew they tried to corner him and say horrible things to him, and he did nothing but retort with logic and reason. I never realized how truly brave he was for doing what I liked it, but I didn't appreciate it as much as I do at this moment.
I highly suggest that if you have a free 22 minutes, go on to Spotify or wherever else you download your podcast. Go check out the 22 minutes of Candace Owens. I did it last night. Now, Candace Owens, there's some stuff there that I flat out, I listen to her at times and I go, ooh, okay, there's a little bit of crazy there.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, that's what happens. Candace Owens does 22 minutes of the most heartfelt stuff talking about her best friend, Charlie Kirk. And she talks about the early on campus tours and how Charlie Kirk made it a point. These are the three schools we're going to go to. And it was UCLA, USC, Cal. He's like, we're not even wanted here.
The worst of the worst.
He's like, we're not wanted here.
Can you imagine? You times campus crazy communist by California.
And you did it by California.
That's the equation.
And that is where all of this grew out of. And how his mission in his mind was, I'm going to talk to young people about stuff that matters to them, and I'm going to stop the revolutionary mindset that we need to destroy all of this, we need to take it all down. It's like, no, we got to get back to basics. And so listen to that 22 minutes. It is so, now don't do it now. Not now. Look at me. Not now.
Anytime after 10 this morning.
Anytime after 10, you're welcome to listen to that 22 minutes. It's very enlightening. But going
Maybe
on campuses. Maybe on the weekend. Maybe. Come around a Saturday. Like, you're getting ready to get in the yard, and you're like, I got 22 minutes to burn.
That's right.
But it's enlightening about what is now happening, where we now have people that are willing to follow and go into the belly of the beast and talk to the people at the ground level where they're being turned communist and try and keep them from having that happening.
We told you yesterday they were going to try to goad you into reacting the way that they do. It was a failure, complete failure, which is good news. Next on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, September 12th. A big weekend in college football for the locals. Let's start with Georgia Tech. They're going to host 12th-ranked Clemson starting at noon tomorrow. That game will kick off at that point. As for 6th-ranked Georgia, they're on the road in Knoxville taking on 15th-ranked Tennessee. That game will kick off at 3:30. The Atlanta Braves, they welcome into Truist Park the Houston Astros for a weekend series beginning tonight. The Braves look to play the role of spoiler against their 2021 World Series competitor. The Astros are currently tied for first in their division. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Get that facelift that you want for your home. Get it looking the way that you want to have it. Make it the envy of the neighborhood. Make it the envy of the cul-de-sac. Be proud when you pull up into the driveway of that home that you bought and you're paying for every month. Make sure it's as perfect as it can possibly be with Southern Exteriors. They do such great work. They can fix the roof or replace the roof. We just got a letter from our insurance company that said, hey, there's nothing we can do for your roof moving forward. It's too old. So guess what's in our near future? New roof. We'll go to Southern Exteriors, hoping you will too. They'll give you 10% off any job, no matter how big: windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, millwork, building decks, screened-in decks, porches, and all that sort of stuff. 10% off or 12 months, 0% financing. All you need to do is call them at 877-9-SOUTHERN, 877-9-SOUTHERN, or southernexteriors.co. It's southernexteriors.co.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and if you have been injured in a car crash, it's going to be harder than ever to get insurance companies to treat you fairly. What you need is a real lawyer on your side, not some phony TV or billboard lawyer who doesn't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 straight years, and we try cases and we win. We get results for our clients. Call me, get in touch, hagan-law.com. We are real lawyers who will win your personal injury case.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turfco. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape, and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Oh no, what is that sound?
It's our rejection detection system. It's showing that several men across Georgia are being denied intimacy by their partners due to ED.
How can this be?
Well, it's more common than you think. As men age, their bodies change. And unfortunately, once they get over 50, some things don't work like they used to.
So what do we do?
There's only one thing to do. We need to get them to Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. He can fix ED problems.
But how?
At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, they are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, and Trimex to create an erection and more.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 struggle with some form of ED? Guys, it won't get better on its own. When it's not hard, it's really hard. But I can help you today. Call us at Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-1911 or learn more about us online at tbtofga.com.
Welcome to Willie's Wings, home of the secret sauce.
I'll take a dozen wings. Oh, by the way, I love that sauce. What's in it?
Can't tell you.
Why not?
It's a secret.
While many financial advisors claim to have the secret sauce, they don't. In fact, if their sauce is so good, why are they keeping it a secret? Evan Ward of Atlas Retirement doesn't keep anything a secret. He knows there's much more to retirement planning than stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Evan will develop a strategy designed specifically for you. It's your own secret sauce for retirement. Call Evan Ward at Atlas Retirement to schedule your personal Portfolio X-ray today. Call 678-252-5224. That's 678-252-5224. Or online at atlasretirement.net.
Fine, you want to know what's in the sauce?
Absolutely.
Tablespoon of paprika.
Really?
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Attention Warriors, are you a veteran ready to navigate to success after service? Tune in to the Warrior Alliance Network. Join us as we spotlight inspiring stories, provide essential resources, and connect you with a community dedicated to empowering veterans. From career advice to health and wellness tips, the Warrior Alliance Network is your go-to hub for post-service success. Tune in Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Extra 106.3. Join us on the mission, the Warrior Alliance Network, where warriors thrive together. Visit us at thewarrioralliance.org for more information.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra at Extra 106.3. I get this text from Carlos Medina yesterday. Trying to see. Yeah, it was about 250.
Was it the selfie?
No. It was the discussion of them trying to goad people into doing something, and they were trying to set the scene.
Oh, yes.
And that's when the calls went into the HBCUs, bomb threats and all these crazy the reaction to Charlie Kirk's murder. And we're going back and forth. Like, this, do not fall for this. You have to realize that this is not real. Do not fall for it.
So we took quite a bit of time yesterday pointing out that the communists, the socialists, they're looking to destabilize the administration and the country in the same way they did in 2020 by causing havoc. That's the plan. That's the goal, to create a scenario where we look like we're wildly out of control. Now, I want to give another piece of credit to Alex Jones, because while I was talking about that, then I see one of his internet links, and I'm like, I'll click on it and see what he has to say. And he started talking about it, and I'm like, good, we should be telling our audiences, do not look to cause trouble. Stay out of this stuff. And Alex Jones flat out tells you, he goes, they're going to launch a plan where it's going to look, he's like, the Democrats are going to attack themselves. He goes, they're going to attack like a migrant group, or they're going to attack black colleges. And he laid it out there like, here's what's going to happen. So by the time that yesterday rolls around and we start hearing that a bunch of HBCUs get put on lockdown for bomb threats, I was shocked. Because, again, we all talked about don't do anything here. Like, this is the game. The guy told you 24 hours ahead of time that this is specifically what they were going to do.
And then they did. It's exactly what happened. A bunch of those schools were locked down, which is horrible. Wouldn't wish that on anybody because it causes unnatural and unreasonable fear for no reason whatsoever. It's like the swatting incidents that happened opening weekend of college football. UGA, UT Chattanooga, South Carolina. There are a ton of colleges and universities that got swatted for no reason whatsoever. They were just trying to cause chaos. Anytime they can sow chaos, they're going to. That's what they're trying to do. They're doubling down. And we didn't fall for it, thankfully. Everything was just fine yesterday. You didn't act. You held your wits about you. Because that's what we do. Republicans aren't conservatives aren't really the radical type.
This would be
to begin with.
Well, this would be different if what Charlie Kirk was talking about was so faith-based. Like, that was the foundation of everything he brought up.
Yes.
And as he pointed out, when it comes to so much of the teachings of Jesus, those that are nonviolent are favored.
That's exactly right. Here's the other thing the Bible would tell you, and Charlie Kirk would tell you. The man that pulled the trigger, that killed Charlie, he would want you to pray for him. And that's hard to hear.
Man.
That's hard to hear.
I thought a lot about that last night as I was, and I described it yesterday this way. When I listened to when all the news came down, and I've got Kimmer in the background, Kimmer was a reflection of what I felt.
Yeah, sure.
It was rage. It was anger. I don't recall having something get me like that. Where
and we've been working together a long time, man. I've never seen you that way.
That's just not my mentality. My mentality is not of one of like, F all these people. What do we do to get back at them? And then as that kind of, I had to put it in a box and put it aside, and then we talked about everything.
Sure.
Yesterday then turned into, for every single one of those wayward souls that were posting celebrations, how do you forgive them?
That's right.
Can you? Like, that's what I'd like to work on.
That's what your task is.
Yeah.
It's a challenge to do. If it were easy, everybody would do it. That's what the Bible tells you to do, and that's what Jesus, and that was Charlie's message.
How do I look at them, and I get it,
and love them,
but I get it. There are points where Christians, at times, there's a reason why Christians are persecuted on a regular basis, because at times you come across as, I know more than you, which in this case, yeah, that's you're following a higher path, but it sometimes gets people very upset because you are doing the holier than thou. And to me, I was looking at those people and saying, the only way I feel better in my soul is to take pity on them.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And to just say, how do I just,
God, I hope
you can find a better place.
Because the place you're in is awful.
But at the
I can't imagine being in that place where I would take joy in the murder of someone.
So there is that portion of me, and then there's the other portion of me, which, what did I call this? I like to do bad things.
That's right. Yeah, which everybody has. It's the angel and devil on each shoulder.
My friend smokes with cigarettes. Okay, like these are my two ends, and this one on the left side is sitting there celebrating every single time one of these people are fired, and it's justified. I'm like, good.
I felt the same way.
The other part of me on the right side is saying, and I hope you find some better place where this is not your mentality.
That you take joy in murder. Just let that simmer just for a second. You don't see people, conservative people, Christian people, Republicans. You don't see them burning cities down because someone like Charlie Kirk was taken from us so violently and so ugly. You don't see us doing that because we are grounded in something different. We are grounded in something that's higher than all of us, that's bigger than all of us. And you'll never be able to change that. You'll never be able to take that away. No matter how ugly you are to us, no matter how evil you are to us, there's something bigger that we're invested in that either you can accept and understand or try to understand or just be lost from forever.
I think that is one of the encouraging aspects of what is going on. The amount of people that have posted who have been Democrats.
Oh, I know.
That have said, this is a bridge too far for me.
Amazing.
And spiritually, they were touched in a way where they don't have to agree with everything that's being said. They don't have to agree with Charlie Kirk. They don't have to agree with you and me. But from a humanity standpoint, we tell you that the Democrat Party, because of the way they're going, has become this death cult. And there's like this rejection of like, no, it's not. You guys are a cult. And then you saw the hundreds, if not thousands, of videos celebrating this. And for a good amount of Democrats, every single time it fills my heart, it does me good to see them say, this is too much. Like, I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to be part of this death cult that celebrates when you see a human life extinguished in this way.
When I see the picture of this lady that works at the animal hospital right up in Cherokee County, she looks like the nicest lady in the world that you'd take your pet to because your pet's sick and you love your dog and you want to get him better, and she's going to love your dog. And then you read
the vile stuff.
He emboldened evil, and evil took him to hell. I would say I'm sorry for his kids, but maybe this will free them from his evil. This woman lives in Cherokee County and works at an animal hospital.
She's going to have to move.
Let me tell you, they've taken her picture off the website.
That's the part of me that does I like to do bad things. There's another part of me that wants to say, well, listen, I'll pray for you. But I think we're all in that balance right now of that anger coupled with I'm trying to follow the example that was set forth for a decade.
That's exactly right.
And beyond that.
And I think what the outcome is, you can hope for justice. You can hope for her actions having reactions. Every action has a reaction. You can be okay with the reaction that comes to her. They've taken her picture off of the animal hospital website in Cherokee County. There's nothing wrong with being okay with justice. Then you have to hope for the best for her, that she finds that place, just like we were talking about, Los, that she finds the place where she don't take joy in a brutal murder, that she finds solace in helping at a new location and a new job, wherever she ends up.
I just want her to have to explain to her family, how'd you lose your job?
She's going to, yeah. And she'll blame something else. She'll say, I'm the victim.
Oh, you know when it goes deep, it's Trump's fault.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. At some point, a lot of them are going to say that.
It's a lack of personal responsibility. It's on you. You're the one who did it.
But there's a few of them that are going to go, oh, my God, what have I done?
And I would like for you to ponder this. Tug and I do, give or take, 20 hours a week. Done so for 3 to 4 years. There's not one time where anyone can point to anything to management or ownership and go, wow, that was too far.
We try to be measured in and make sure that we're measured.
Because I'm not emotional about this stuff until a couple days ago. And even then, I'm still measured about what I'm getting into. You couldn't do it for one day on social media. Do you know what the difference is in you and I? I'm doing 20 hours a week. You couldn't stay off of social media and act crazy for one day. One day.
And one of the darkest days in American history, and maybe even human history. Several of those in the leftist media said the right things yesterday, but will their actions match their words? Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Sometimes coming up with a pithy little commentary, an interesting and captivating 2 minutes, is extremely difficult. One of those times is now. I have tried, but I just can't come up with any understanding at all of why so many seemingly normal-looking people on the left are actually celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Have any of these people ever watched his videos, or have they just listened to what fellow leftists have said about him? Did he ever insult? No. Did he ever threaten violence? No. What did he encourage? Conversation. That's it. In one video, a liberal runs up to him and snatches the hat off of his head. Will start to chase that person. Charlie Kirk says, no, don't chase him. Let him go. And as they're running away, he says, would you like to have a conversation? He was a conservative, an effective one. But all he did in these little meetings on college campuses was ask people who disagreed with him if they would like to have a conversation. And that made him an avowed enemy of the left. The leftist media portrayed, would you like to have a conversation, as hate speech. Being able to actually define what a woman is was hate speech. Any opposition at all to abortion on demand was hate speech. And when they find this shooter, if he's still alive, and they will, there will be immediate attempts to launch GoFundMe campaigns to give him money, and female college students proclaiming their undying love and desire for him. I don't get it. Maybe by the time I'm on the air this afternoon with the Kimmer, the light bulb will come on. but right now all I see is darkness. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Fox on Tech.
Amazon is betting you'll ride in a self-driving taxi in Las Vegas. The company's autonomous vehicle division called Zoox is now offering robo-taxi rides in Las Vegas. Zoox says they're offering driverless service to places like Topgolf, Area 51, and Resorts World, with plans to expand to other Vegas Strip spots in the coming months. Unlike autonomous cars built by Google's Waymo or by Uber or Tesla, Zoox vehicles are not repurposed versions of regular cars. Zoox look like mini trolleys and have no driver equipment in the cab. Doors open to a large passenger seating area with individual climate control and infotainment options. Live customer service is just a screen tap away. Zoox rides are arranged through its own app available on both Google and iOS. The company says on its website that after Vegas, service will soon come to San Francisco, Austin, Texas, and Miami. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
I do not want to hear that I'm plus size. No, you're fat. I'm curvy. No, you're obese.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
On TV right now on Fox and Friends as the manhunt continues for Charlie Kirk's assassin.
I spoke to Erica, his wife, and we had a long talk, and she's devastated. She's absolutely devastated, as you can imagine.
The president will honor Kirk posthumously with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, and he plans to attend the conservative's funeral. It is day 3 of the manhunt for the gunman.
We've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case.
Utah Governor Spencer Cox.
The FBI making an urgent plea for the public to help identify the person of interest.
Fox's CB Cotton outside Utah Valley University, where Kirk was murdered. They've recovered the rifle. There are new videos out. One shows the gunman running after the shooting, and another that TMZ got,
which appears to show the person of interest walking by several neighborhood surveillance cameras. TMZ says this video was captured at 11:49 a.m. local time, and we know the FBI previously said the shooter first entered campus at 11:52 a.m. Less than an hour later, the suspect fired off the fatal shot.
Later this hour, Ryan Ruth's trial resumes in the second Trump assassination attempt last year. Ruth's defending himself, and his opening statements to the jury didn't last long.
After approximately 7 minutes of rambling, Judge Cannon cut him off, saying, quote, "We have limited patience, and you do not have unlimited license to go forward and make a mockery of the dignity of this courtroom." Now, the government's first 5 witnesses took the stand yesterday, including Secret Service agent Robert Furcano, who spotted Ruth's weapon pointing at him through the fence.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichol outside the court in Fort Pierce, Florida. Days after Russia's war in Ukraine spilled across the border into Poland, where some Russian drones were shot down, France has deployed fighter jets to Poland. Britain has imposed new sanctions on Russia. America's listening to Fox News.
Since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's greatest heroes and their families. Heroes like Mark Holbert. Mark enlisted in the United States Army and served multiple tours, including 3 in Afghanistan. On his 4th tour, he stepped on an improvised explosive device and lost 2 of his fingers and both legs. Tunnel to Towers provided Mark with a mortgage-free smart home, which enables Mark to live more independently. Support America's heroes, like Mark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Grow your business organically with Atlanta's fastest growing news and talk station, Extra 106.3. Get started today by emailing sales@xtra1063.com.
Today's show has been such a balance of good and bad, angels and devils on your shoulder.
Trying to forgive.
or
But I also want to make fun about you losing your job for being an idiot.
Yes, that's right. Complete fool, complete buffoon. I can't say there's not a bit of me that feels bad for people that get fired for going on social media and making a spectacle of themselves over somebody being murdered. I have no sympathy for them. Do I hope they get help? Do I hope they get their life on the right track and that they find Jesus, they find the Lord, they find a good church? I hope all of that. I do. I hope they do.
I'm trying.
I know you are. I'm trying to pull you along.
I'm trying to be the shepherd.
I'm gently pulling you along.
You hear me, Ringo?
Yeah.
I'm trying to be the shepherd.
But that's been the tug of war. I think it's such a logical discussion that we're having. I think it's such a common discussion that people deal with every day. Let's take the complete atrocity, the murder of Charlie Kirk out of it. I think people deal with that on a daily basis. Whether it's just somebody that drives them crazy at work or somebody that, they deal with a bad customer. They in traffic. Think about driving in Atlanta traffic. Some days some days that you get cut off or something and you're fine. You just hit the brakes and you let it go. And then there's other days that you want to run your car through theirs.
All right, so we have some breaking news as we're going to get to our caller here. So you have a manhunt continues for Charlie Kirk shooter, but you do have Donald Trump, who is now saying that the shooter is in custody. So hold on, let's go to the feed real quick and let's see what he's got here real fast.
What's on your mind?
Not say right now. They're going to announce it today. Sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned and, they said, whoa, it's interesting. We had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And brought him to a U.S. Marshal who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you? Huh? Thank you. Always have breaking.
Wow. Okay.
Holy
so
cow,
he's doing that on Fox and Friends this morning as he's sitting there in New York.
Holy cow.
Saying that we have a Kirk suspect in custody. He's doing that live on the show. And meanwhile, as I'm flipping back and forth, because obviously it's the biggest story in the country.
Without a question.
MSNBC is still sitting there talking about searching for this person, and Donald Trump is telling you we got him.
Dude, that's why I didn't know where you're going with it. I had no idea because I was still looking at the monitor from MSNBC. I had no clue that was coming. I had no idea.
Welcome to 8 o'clock, everybody. They've got him. At least from what Donald Trump is saying, again, from his interview on Fox and Friends, there was somebody that recognized the picture. They reached out to a family member. Somebody who was involved in the church made a plea of, you got to turn this person in. And so we're going to find out more details as it moves along. Donald Trump just found this out as well, as he's pointing out.
You heard him say it.
He walked out in the studio with just a, hey, we got him. And here's the background on it. Just a little bit of information. So I'm willing to bet in the next hour, as we follow along with the story, we will have a lot more. As it stands right now, they do have the suspect in custody, and they are alive.
I feel so relieved. I can only imagine what Charlie Kirk's wife is feeling knowing this news, and the people that love Charlie, and look, the vice president who was dear friends with Charlie Kirk, so much so that he flew out to bring his casket home to Phoenix, Arizona. Can you imagine the relief that they're feeling right now? And this person, while you should pray for them, we've talked about this the whole show. You should pray for their soul. You can also expect and demand justice. Those are not mutually exclusive. Those two things can operate together.
I want to get to the bottom of, explain this.
Me too. But I don't know. I don't know that anything he says is going to be good enough.
I also know that under this FBI, this is not going to be like Nashville where it's covered up as to the reason why.
Every detail, everything, they're going to uncover every detail. Do we still have our caller?
Yeah.
Let's bring in Kevin from Holly Springs.
Oh, Kevin, this is a tough one to follow up, man. This is a big show,
Hey,
Kevin.
guys.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. That is great news. I don't matter following that up, not whatsoever. Just want to let you guys know I really love the show. I was a member of the 3-hour club before there was a 4-hour club. So
oh, wow. Old
God
school.
bless you, Kevin.
Kevin, it might be your fault there's a 4-hour club. I'm a little bit upset about
What
this.
have you done, Kevin?
Yeah, it's on me. I'll take it.
All right, God bless you.
I've never been one to call in, but what happened Wednesday has motivated me to get more involved. And I would like to issue a challenge to this listening audience because I feel like we can make a difference right now. There is an election in my Senate district. I've heard you talk about it a couple times, Tug.
Yes, sir.
But you've given no details. It's Senate District 21.
Yes, sir.
It's the northeast part of Cherokee County and the northern part of Fulton.
That's right.
You need to go to the Secretary of State's website, go to the My Voter page. If you were in Senate District 21, let this anger for what happened Wednesday get you off the couch and go vote. We almost gave this seat up to a Democrat because nobody even knew what was going on. 14% of us turned out. You want to do something, you want to channel this energy, get up, get involved. It's what we've got to do. It's what I'm going to do. I'll call you guys normally, let you know, hey, these votes are coming. We've got to get the information out. The information's not readily available
No, you're
unless
right.
you search for it.
You have to search for it.
That should not be the case.
No, you're right.
Thank you for the call, Kevin. And that's exactly, Kevin, I'm thank you for the call. And you can always reach out to us, 404-741-1230. We talked about this yesterday when we were discussing about what can you do?
What is the response?
What's the response? What is the way we should go about this?
Constructive response.
Yes, if you have that energy, we talked about, say, show up to your school board, air your grievances, run for that office, vote, do the little things. If it was inspiring to you that a man would go on a regular basis into the belly of the beast for a decade and eventually paid for it with his life and moved 3 million voters to our side to ensure that we could get back the republic from what it had become in 2021, 2022, when it was teetering. If he's willing to do that,
Can you not get your tail end up?
And make it a point. Let's make sure there's more than 14% that show up to make sure that this is secured.
14%. The Democrat.
Kevin, that's a great call.
Vote for Jason Dickerson for special Georgia State Senate 21 special election. It happens on the 23rd. I think early voting starts, if not today, tomorrow.
He told me on the phone that early voting starts early next week on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I read the 13th, but
Get on
we take his word for it. He's very dialed in.
You want to honor somebody?
Get out.
Get active. Again, you beat him at the ballot box. It's not at the barrel. You beat him at the ballot box. That's the way the civil society works. We have respect for our laws. We have respect for one another, even when we disagree with one another. What we saw in Utah was a failure of the civil society from a man who firmly believed in the civil society. So how do you honor it?
Go vote
exercise it.
for Jason Dickerson. Do not let Deborah Shingley win the Brandon Beach seat. Brandon has left to join the Trump administration. And he's right. I've brought it up 2 or 3 times just in passing and didn't get into it. And shame on me for not getting into it. I'm glad that Kevin is such an awesome dude. And wow, way to follow up with the news of that Donald Trump shared just now that they have the suspect in custody that murdered Charlie Kirk.
I can't wait to find out a little bit more about this. Because again, Donald Trump he's on currently with Fox and Friends. Like, he went into the studio and he flat out was like, I got some breaking news for y'all. And he started kind of giving us a little bit of background as to how they've apprehended the person that, as they're putting it, they have high confidence this is the shooter. We're going to find out who turned them in. We're going to find out where they went. We're going to find out a lot more information, and most importantly, they're alive. They will face justice.
And how fitting is it that someone in the church
from the court of Donald Trump,
had a hand in this? You're talking about something that Charlie represented, and that was certainly his faith. Odie is in Kennesaw, 404-741-1230. Buddy, you got a little pressure on you, just a little bit, because we've had big news. We had Kevin knock it out of the park.
This is the 8 o'clock hour. Like, there's a lot of pressure here.
What's up, Odie?
I'm glad to hear that they got him, but I wanted to tell you guys, after I found out Charlie had been, assassinated, my faith got buried by my human tendencies, and I wanted retribution.
Yes.
And, you guys this morning have made me stop and think, hey, you got to go with your faith.
Every time.
You guys are fantastic.
You're too kind.
The only thing that really still irritates the hell out of me is that everybody's saying, yes, beat them at the ballot box. Yes, we need to engage in conversation. But us folks on the right engage in conversation and try to beat them at the ballot box. The folks on the left, they burn, loot, and murder. And this has got to stop, because sooner or later, somebody's not going to be able to put up with it anymore.
Odie, I appreciate the call. Let me say this about that, because we have trends that happen in society. One of the things that Tug and I have joked around about quite a bit is when we talked about like 1960s counterculture, when you went against the man. That was the baby boomers. They went against the man, and everyone was like, man, okay, good, you're counterculture. You don't agree with the war, you don't agree with where society is going. The counterculture has become being a person of faith who believes in the civil society. What happened in 2020, they can't pull that off anymore. We won the culture war. We really did.
And we continue to win it to this moment.
Like, if you decide, hey, I'm gonna go burn down a courthouse, we're gonna go, a bunch of idiots.
And then you'll be punished to the fullest extent of the law, because all of a sudden it's not cool to be a defund the police. Even on the left, they're getting lambasted in Washington, D.C. for defunding the police. Muriel Bowser, of all people, said Donald Trump was right. I would have never thought I would hear her say that. Ever.
And I will say this to you as well, Odie. I'm right there with you. I've been in a balancing act this entire week.
It's hard,
I have told you that I have spent time mocking, laughing, joking around about on Twitter about how ridiculous is it that you decided to celebrate this and now you lost your job. And then there's that part of me that keeps going back to, I should feel bad for people that are so lost that they would celebrate a man being murdered in front of his family.
They lost their humanity, dude.
It's not there anymore.
They've lost so much. They've lost everything that makes them human, that connects them with people, that they're able to share emotion and feel. They've lost that.
And credit to Charlie Kirk. Again, we talked about the numbers. It's 3 million people. We can go through even more of the numbers where when it came to young men who voted in 2022 versus 2024, it moved by nearly 40%. Charlie Kirk went on every campus he could in the country and laid out, this is the new cool. This is the way things are. And young people gravitated towards it. They were like, this makes a lot of sense. To say that young people have spent the better part of 4 or 5 years, especially when they lost their opportunity to graduate, maybe they lost a senior year, maybe they lost a portion of their school. When COVID hit, we had an entire group of people, millions of young people, that felt lost. And it took time for them to get it back. And Charlie Kirk has played a huge role in helping them show them a direction to get it back.
They felt slighted.
Yes.
They felt cheated. And Charlie said, do not feel that way. You're not the victim.
Yeah, you're more than this.
You're more than that. You're more than what they've taken away from you. You're more than what they tell you are. And you have value as a human. You can contribute to the society in some way, in a positive manner. You can do more than you ever imagined that you could do. And that goes not just for young people. If you listen to Charlie's message, it's for all of us. We can all do more. We're all capable of so much more. Tune out the negativity. Tune out the people, the naysayer. Dude, it's like the song Backup Plan. You absolutely, you put blinders on to their nonsense, to their lies. You put blinders on and you don't listen to the naysayers. You pick yourself up and you can do anything in America.
What has happened? The left, because they had such a command of the culture, for a long time, they made it into, hey, you got to be the next captain of industry in Silicon Valley. You got to be a billionaire. You got to have that pool in California and that multi-million-dollar home if you want to be anything. Now, why was that beneficial? They could then create a victimization mentality if you didn't. And what Charlie Kirk was doing, and what many people on the right have been pointing out, man, all you need is a good wife and a good family. That's all you need. If you can do that, and that requires a stability within that person, you got to be that person. If you can be that, and a lot of times that's tied into masculinity of being a provider, you will be happy for all of your days. And what sounds much more obtainable? If I'm a good person, maybe I'll find a good person, maybe I'll have a great family. Versus, I need you to create the next microchip so that you can have your $1 billion and your $1 million home in California.
And here's the thing. Maybe you will do that.
Maybe you can. Good for you if you do.
But if you don't, you're not any less.
No. That's the message.
And the most of us, the majority of us, are not going to build that computer, that microchip. We're not going to create the next Tesla. I don't know. But we can all just have a family. We can all have children. We can all go to work and work hard and succeed.
And be good to your neighbors and your friends and your family.
We can all do that. And that was Charlie's message.
Tug actually works on a longer lasting light bulb in his basement.
Yeah, all the time. Let me tell you. It's coming along nicely.
It's happening.
That's right.
It's going to be worth millions.
Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. We will be right back.
If you love 106.3, then you'll love the all-new Extra 106.3 app. It's loaded with replays of your favorite shows like The Morning Extra and The Kimmer Show, podcasts from conservative voices across the South, and access to Extra's crystal clear live stream from anywhere in Georgia. Grab it now for Apple or Android.
Life is unpredictable, but when trouble comes, you need a team you can trust. At A Second Chance Bail Bonds, we've been helping families for nearly 20 years, providing fast, professional, and discreet service. With 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham, we're available 24/7 to get your loved one home, quick and with care. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT, that's 404-BAIL-OUT, or visit atlbail.com today.
A born leader never rests. The GLE SUV continues to advance its legacy with intuitive technology, rich refinement, and all-hybrid power, including a plug-in model. From safety to style, leadership is a GLE family value. Get an exceptional offer on the 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 SUV. Just $759 per month for 36 months with $62.13 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta and Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the RBM of Atlanta's fall sales event, now through September 30th. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through September 30th, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Hey, it's the Kimmer talking about Stovall.
Yeah, I just wanted to brag on Stovall. I went up there and actually got a quote on some of their material up there, and he gave me the quotes I wanted, but he said what would work best they don't carry, and referred me to one of their competitors. That's how good they are. And sure enough, he was right. The material he was talking about that they don't carry, it's actually going to work best for me. So I've got that on the way, and it all worked out well. Makes me want to go back and buy something from them now.
Folks, when it comes to landscaping supplies, start at Stovall. 11 locations around Atlanta. Online at StovallInc.com.
This is House Call for Health. Experts are weighing in on how important it is for kids to never miss breakfast. Cleveland Clinic children's nutritionists say if kids don't have breakfast in the morning, they have trouble staying awake and can't focus on information. This is caused by drops in blood sugar, which impact their brain, mood, and energy level. Experts recommend at least 4 things in a breakfast: healthy fats, carbohydrates, protein, and fiber. Good options might be hard-boiled eggs, cheese sticks, fruit, Greek yogurt, turkey sausage, protein pancakes, oatmeal, or overnight oats. They recommend avoiding anything sugary, and for cereal, make sure it's whole grain, low in sugar, and high in fiber. Jennifer Highland is a registered dietitian at Cleveland Clinic Children's and says if kids aren't eating in the morning, they're going to have trouble absorbing the information that they're supposed to be learning. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Securing America.
As America held 9/11 remembrance ceremonies, attention was paid to the continuing lessons of that day and the challenges moving forward. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth spoke during the event at the Pentagon.
As I speak, hostile elements plot to curb our power and slaughter our people in our homeland, in our hemisphere, and halfway around the globe. Not everyone needs to wear a uniform, but some of us do.
The secretary also spoke about the next generation of Americans and our collective responsibility.
Prepare them to defend this nation by the ballot, the wallet, and when necessary, the cloth of our country.
Which he admits will become more difficult as more time passes since the September 11th attack.
It will soon live only in the history books for our youngest. We must teach our children that the price of freedom we love is eternal vigilance.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Friday, September 12th. One of the 2 men indicted in the shooting death of 8-year-old Sequoia Turner outside an Atlanta Wendy's that was burned during Black Lives Matter protests in 2020 has been convicted of gang and gun charges in Fulton County. Jerrion McKinney pled guilty to aggravated assault and other charges. Prosecutors say he chased the Jeep the young girl was in after another gang member fired shots into the vehicle. He was sentenced to serve 20 years in prison. American flags outside a Kennesaw business were stolen for the 3rd time in 2 years. A couple who works at Mulkey Enterprises replaced the 6 flags posted on Kennesaw Avenue before Thursday's anniversary of September 11th. Surveillance footage of the theft was turned into police, but the couple's not seeking prosecution. They say they just want the stealing to stop. And more self-driving cars are coming to Atlanta. Rideshare app Lyft is launching its autonomous vehicle program in select parts of the city on Monday with limited hours. Lyft says trained operators will be in the vehicles during the launch in case they need to take control. Weather for today and the weekend, clear and sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra on Extra 106.3. Incredible news being shared by Donald Trump, and he shared it, Los, on Fox and Friends this morning.
Yeah, Donald Trump is actually still sitting on the set of Fox and Friends. This has not even hit social media yet, but Donald Trump, he sat down in studio and let all the world know this.
Any updates on the suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. Right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job.
This would be the assassin who killed Charlie Kirk Wednesday afternoon. As Donald Trump is saying, with high certainty, they believe they have him. He went on to point out that there was people that recognized him from the video, and that he has a father involved in law enforcement, but that somebody who was related within the church was who reached out and was like, this needs to end.
It has to. It has to end. We cannot leave a nation just completely shaken without justice being served. We cannot. It would tear at the fabric of the country for longer than it needs to. It can't go on this way any longer. I wonder how long that the people knew before they finally convinced themselves. Was it immediate as soon as they figured it out, they came forward? Did it take them a few minutes to go, oh my God, I have to do this. I have to do the right thing. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life.
There are stories of parents who do have a hard time turning in their child.
Of course. I mean, think about it, dude.
One of the most famous stories that's out there is even that of the Unabomber. We're the only person, because the Unabomber worked with anonymity for, a decade. And it wasn't until they published his manifesto that the person who recognized it from reading it was his brother. His brother was like, that sounds like my brother. It's like he writes like my brother. He sounds like my brother. And his brother's the one who turned him in. Man was living in, a shack in Montana, which I believe now you can actually go to a museum in D.C. and see his shack, if I remember correctly. But
I'm good. I think I'll pass.
At time, it takes certain people to recognize what the MO, the writing, the video, and to turn that person in. And so I guess we'll get more of that story, but I'm incredibly hopeful and pleased that this is the end of this and that we will get more answers as to why, and then we will see justice done.
I wonder if the people who celebrated Charlie's murder will ultimately come to their senses and celebrate the capture of this person. I don't expect all of them will, but I do expect there's going to be some of them going, even if it's because they've lost their job or whatever's shaken them, whatever's jolted them back to normal, back to reality, back to humanity, will go, oh my God, I've embarrassed myself. I have shamed myself. I have to do better. I've got to be better. And this is the right thing. I hope that for them.
I freely admit, I do love reading about serial killers, in part because there's a psychology aspect of how was this person created.
You sent a podcast to me that I listened to on the way to Athens last weekend.
Talking about lead.
Who in a million years would have thought that a high concentration of lead because of a smelter or because of paint on the wall
might cause madness?
That's hard to wrap your head around.
Right. So there's an origin story there.
Dude, I know there's no lead paint, but what if 15 years down the road they were like, well, latex caused cancer or whatever?
I mean, we used to have the scenario where asbestos was causing cancer.
Right.
You know, that was something in the 80s and 90s that people are like, we can't build with asbestos anymore. Okay, this fire retardant is going to give people cancer. So I'm into that stuff. I've never celebrated that stuff. I've never been like, oh, I can't wait to write this person. Oh, I can't wait to go show up to, this particular group where we get to talk about this person. Again, I tell you about if you want to go marvel at the craziness of the Unabomber, well, they keep his shack around to tell you this person was waging war against the United States and technology from this little shack.
And I do believe there's value in understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because how do you prevent or how do you correct?
But we do have this level of celebrity that has now been created, notably on the left, when it comes to the killer of United Healthcare CEO. And I'm guaranteeing we're going to get the same thing with this particular killer. There is going to be a certain celebrity aspect to them because they are alive, they are in custody, they will face justice. I mean, how do you think they look at, what's his name, Ryan Routh? They look at him as a loser. You know, the shooter in Pennsylvania, well, you didn't get the job done. And that's just the mentality they had. All right, this one did. They're going to get this level of celebration that's going to feel gross. And I hope everyone out there who continues to turn in these people to their employers, when you start to read that stuff, send it on over.
Absolutely. Every action has a reaction. And the reaction needs to be holding people. You have the right to say anything you want. Please don't mistake what we're saying. You have the right to say anything.
Anything you want.
You say anything you want.
Have at it.
You don't have the right to control people's reaction to what you've said.
I have the right to be protected from my government from what I say. I don't have the right to be protected from my employer if it puts them in a bad position.
Amen. Or makes their company look second rate, to look cheap, to look complicit.
Well, I am going to tweet out. I'm going to X out on Monday and say your favorite bigot will be on 2 to 6. Because that's always my favorite thing when I get told about that one.
Yeah, right.
This is a guy who would go ape-esque crazy about, you're going to put that bigot on the air? I'm like, every day. In fact, I had one person, okay, you'll get a kick out of this. Sorry, I had one person this week who actually said, well, you couldn't cut it in sports talk.
Oh, my God. You know, the crazy thing is, I saw so many people tweeting out and posting on social media that I was so interested in the college football weekend and all of a sudden it has less meaning than it ever has before.
Sure did. The people that were fired up about Georgia and Tennessee, suddenly it went to the back burner. The realization of what really matters, or what can be very shocking, or that you could see something so horrible to realize how small this other thing is.
I don't mean you don't go cheer for your team.
No.
You go cheer them on as hard as you can,
But your
man.
perspective changes.
That's exactly right, dude. If they win, that's great. And if they don't, dang, man, we'll get them next time. People are so just married to college football, and I am too. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I don't love it like I used to. And what I mean is, I don't let it affect me because it does not matter. Life matters. Life with friends matter. Life with my family matters. Life taking my dog on a walk and being able to throw a ball and watch him just gleefully go get it and bring it back just to let me do it again.
No, your dog's dumb.
Yeah, he
My
does it
dog's
over and
dumber
over.
though. That's fine. I don't get all that big a kick out of her being like, "Oh, look, the ball."
But dude, there's
little joys. Yeah,
our dog. You would think that his toys, he's so particular about them. It's so funny how much joy this little animal gets out of these stuffed animals and balls.
Well, just so the audience knows, the Falcons during 28-3 killed your previous dog.
That's why I'm so close to this one, because the old one.
Because you haven't been hurt in this way.
That's right.
But you now don't let sporting events hurt you in this way.
Exactly right.
And in the big scheme of things, because so many people, when you look at the data, and the data will tell you, the two biggest sports for those that consider themselves on the right, who consider themselves conservative, are the PGA Tour and college football. And so interwoven into college football are these people that pay attention to this version of politics. Charlie Kirk among them, huge Oregon fan.
Did you see him throwing the football at Liberty University like a 40, 50-yard pass?
Huge football fan.
Love the Oregon Ducks.
When Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Clay had a chance to talk with him in November, and the first thing they got into was Oregon football, because Clay Travis is like, if you don't like college football, I can't trust you.
Yeah, seriously.
He's like, and I like Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk's ready to talk about one of the funniest videos that he had was he was asked about, was Genty, the running back at Boise State, screwed out of the Heisman? He's like, yes, he was.
Yeah.
He's like, it should not have gone to Travis Hunter. Yeah. Travis Hunter was the best player in the country, but he made the argument. It was fun.
Yeah,
right?
Because it's his team. He's pulling for him, and I love it.
So to see people that have our political persuasion suddenly going, man, that is a young family and a young wife and a guy who was assassinated in public, and we all saw it. Suddenly, whether or not you pick up that first down on 3rd and 7 just doesn't feel the same. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't feel the same for a while.
But it should still make you smile. And knowing that Charlie Kirk and anybody that has a good heart wants to see you smile, that there's nothing else in this world that I would want for you is to be able to smile again. And I hope today's show, if nothing else, has given you a reason to smile. Given you a reason to hope. Given you a reason to believe that there are better days ahead for you and me and our families and America. Because there are. There are better days ahead, Los.
I want to clarify, because we are talking about the breaking news that occurred, that Donald Trump on Fox and Friends did announce that they do have the assassin of Charlie Kirk, the suspect, in custody as of this morning. He pointed out, this being Donald Trump, that there was a minister involved with law enforcement that got the assassin's father to turn the shooter in.
Wow.
He said they drove into police headquarters. He's there now.
So the father took his own son in, or
based on, in this case, as he said, there was a minister involved with law enforcement that got Charlie Kirk's assassin's father to turn the shooter in.
Wow.
Ooh, that's
brutal.
This is going to be, it's, I know we talk about like chain of custody, like how did this stuff happen? I want to know how you made it back to your home. Where was home? Because you evaded the FBI and the local police in the woods, and somehow you've managed to go almost 48 hours since the assassination, and it took your dad driving you into the police station for you to give up, for you to decide, I'm done.
I don't know how the father. Well, first of all, I know how he did it because it's the right thing to do. But how did his son get to that point? Like, what's the disconnect? Where was he?
Where was the wayward soul?
Where did his soul get off track? If there's a minister involved, you had to at least be close to the right side of the tracks.
I can't explain with certainty how my oldest daughter came into religion the way that she has, came into the faith that she has, because while I would say we are a home that holds such values, we are not the ones that inundate our child every weekend with, like when I was growing up, I was in Bible study class.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, this sucks. I was like, this is awful.
I thought that too.
You know, I was like, this is terrible. It wasn't until I got older, and quite honestly, it was being around some of my friends that were Jewish that I took an interest in Old Testament, Torah, and then that led into wanting to have a deeper understanding of the entirety of the Bible. It wasn't until I was more mature. My 14-year-old has that interest already.
Yeah, it puts the biggest smile on my face, man.
So my question is, there are kids that go the other way. How far the other way do they go where they reject all of it? They don't want any part of it. In fact, they might be this might be their level of rebellion. That the world doesn't understand me, you don't understand me, I don't need you churching. And so because I was the other way. I wasn't trying to push any of this stuff, and yet my daughter found this. I wasn't really having this push because, again, Bible study school, that was awful. I got more mature and kind of went on my own here.
Right. I remember going to vacation Bible school. Oh, man.
Oh, no, man.
Dude, I loved it, though. Because we would...
I didn't.
But I loved it for all the wrong reasons. I went just to hang out with my buddies. I couldn't care less what I was learning.
I went to an overnight one because I thought I was going to hook up with a girl.
That's terrible.
Didn't happen.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And funny.
That smokes with cigarettes. I want to do hood rat things. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be the shepherd, Ringo.
That's right. Oh, that's funny. Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3 when we come back. Hearing about dealing with loss from RFK Jr.'s perspective. But that stopped me yesterday. I had to listen to it a couple times. I want to play it for you. As we end the show on a positive note, we end the show on a smile. And we hope that we put a smile on your face this morning at some point. I hope you're encouraged. And I just want to say thank you on behalf of Los and Dre and Diggy Broadcasting and Extra and everybody here. Thank you. Thank you for just being a part, for caring. Because so many people don't. This is Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, September 12th. A big weekend in college football for the locals. Let's start with Georgia Tech. They're going to host 12th-ranked Clemson starting at noon tomorrow. That game will kick off at that point. As for 6th-ranked Georgia, they're on the road in Knoxville taking on 15th-ranked Tennessee. That game will kick off at 3:30. The Atlanta Braves, they welcome into Truist Park the Houston Astros for a weekend series beginning tonight. The Braves look to play the role of spoiler against their 2021 World Series competitor. The Astros are currently tied for first in their division. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We have become a highly sought-after turf installation company in the Atlanta and North Georgia luxury residential market. Big reason for that is our installers are ATL Turf Co. employees. We do not outsource labor. They are trained to be experts in the turf installation process, drainage, grading. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Hey, it's Los. We're here with Tom Mitchell, the honest car guy. Tom, I'm looking for a reliable vehicle, something for the family, but also for my daughter who's going to be driving soon. Why should I call you?
The main thing is you get to see it's a full transparency sale. What I like to do is show you the whole gamut, show you everything that's out there and everything that's available. I can get any make, any year, any model.
Financing. If I need to use it, what can you offer?
We have some of the best banks available, and we got rates starting at 4.99 from a 23 model and above. It could be a 14 model. We still have banks that will do all the financing for you at good rates, and they're primary banks. If you have credit issues, we still have banks that can accommodate those issues as well.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hey Atlanta Braves fans, this is Kelly Kroll asking you to step up to the plate for the men and women who have served our country and protected our freedom. The Warrior Alliance, an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, is helping thousands of veterans to achieve success after military service. Either you or someone you know has served and deserves our support. The best way to say thank you for your service is by helping a veteran round the bases on their journey home. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
Atlanta, it's Mark from Atlanta Safe House. Can I have your attention, please? I have an important announcement. Our president has a backbone. Thank you, President Trump, for standing up for the American people. We sleep better knowing our country is protected. And speaking of protection, criminals laugh when you purchase a fake safe from a big box store. There's no better time to visit Atlanta Safe House and see what a real a real safe looks like. But wait, there's more. Now through the end of the month, save hundreds of dollars on all Browning, Fort Knox safes and vault doors. Drop by one of our locations or go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Hey, it's Front Office Los, and running a business is tough. Juggling clients, employees, cash flow. Why worry about IT? iTech Atlanta can keep your systems running securely and smoothly so that you can focus on your business, minimize downtime, and protect against cyber threats, all at a predictable, fixed, low monthly cost. For 25 years, iTech Atlanta has been helping businesses just like yours. They would love to manage your IT on time and under budget. Learn more. Visit iTechAtlanta.com. We manage your IT so you can manage your business.
A government watchdog said Illinois' map represents a nearly perfect model for everything that can go wrong with redistricting.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Saw a great billboard that has been posted in North Georgia. Amy Kremer shared this, and she is co-founder of Women for Trump, chair of the America First Women, RNC National Committee woman, and for the GOP, and then part, of course, Georgia Republicans. And it's a billboard that is it says Charlie Kirk, got 93 to 2025, his picture, and it just says in large, bold letters, leader, husband, father. Those are popping up across North Georgia, and Amy has said that the Georgia Red Women, meaning conservatives of Hall County, is putting those up across North Georgia. So if you see one of those, you'll know where it came from. Just a cool billboard honoring Charlie Kirk.
Can I give you some extra sidebar from a friend of show?
Yeah, of course.
So I was just talking with Sarah Stoudemire, who's been on this network, been on the show.
Sure.
And
Great lawyer in town.
She admitted to us that she was part of MTV's Fashionably Loud in the late 90s. And so now in the back room, everyone's going through NSYNC, Fashionably Loud, and sure enough,
there she is.
There's Stoudemire.
How about that?
She's like, it was my younger days. Yeah. I was having a good time. I was like, good for you, Sarah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I can't say I've ever been involved in anything like that.
Neither have I. I was like,
freaking
good for
cool,
you guys.
Man. Absolutely. That's really, really cool. Kind of along the lines of these billboards that are popping up across North Georgia, I wanted you to hear from RFK Think about the loss that his family has experienced over the years. Obviously, RFK Jr., his father,
multitude of times,
his uncle. I mean, some of the biggest political assassinations in America are at the expense of his family. Listen to what he had to say about it.
When people die, they leave a big hole in you, and that hole really doesn't get any smaller. What our job is to grow ourselves bigger around the hole. Yes. By building character, and we do that by taking sort of the best virtues of the person who died and trying to incorporate those into our own character, and that way we make ourselves larger and the whole gets proportionally smaller.
Yeah. When I memorialize or eulogize people, I say it doesn't get any easier. What happens is, to your point, you get stronger. You continue to grow through your pain.
That's exactly right. And he was talking with a pastor there. And that hole that you feel right now can be filled up, like RFK was saying, by being a leader, by being a better husband or a wife, by being a better father or a mother, just like this billboard said. It just dovetails so nicely. And this is a man who has experienced incredible loss.
I think about those 9/11 families that we hit the 24-year anniversary yesterday. And there is, I don't know what's a greater cruelty. The fact that you were old enough to know your dad when he died in the tower, or that you were young enough that you don't remember and that you never really knew him and that you hear stories. I mean, I don't know what's because that's kind of the scenario that gets played out with Charlie Kirk's children.
Yeah.
They're so young. There's just going to be these very fleeting memories. Does that make it easier? I don't know. I mean, RFK Jr. is talking about like they're the first family of assassination tragedy in this country.
Yeah.
No one. I don't know if I can find the Lincolns anywhere around.
Mm-mm.
You know, I mean, it is the Kennedys.
That's exactly right. There's nobody, no family that has had more taken from them. And granted, you know, people are like, "Well, they're multimillionaires, rich and it doesn't matter."
It doesn't matter, but
it has nothing to do with
how stressful must it be that, as he's telling you this, that only being a leader. I mean, granted, he's got a level of accomplishment. The man shows up to the White House, okay? Like, he's running Health and Human Services. What if he was just Joe Me? You know? Mm-hmm. What if he's just a regular guy?
Yeah.
Like, how much harder is that?
Man.
Because what level of accomplishment makes some of this at least numb to you?
I don't think any accomplishment does.
That's the pressure of it all.
I don't think there's I don't think anything numbs that type of injury to your soul. I mean, that's soul tearing injuries. I mean, I can only speak for having lost my dad about 6 years ago, and I think about him every day. Sometimes I'll be driving down the road, a song will trigger saying, "Here come the tears, man." I've never gotten over it, and I don't know that I ever will. And he went relatively peacefully. We watched the Braves game the night before he passed, so I have a wonderful memory. Charlie's kids won't.
No.
RFK's family hasn't. I don't know. I don't think success has any. I don't think it numbs it at all.
Well, I thought it was unique that you made it a point to go to the All-Star game because your dad had gone to the All-Star game, what, 77?
72.
72.
Yeah.
It was
Atlanta
one
Fulton
of them.
County Stadium.
Sorry, I overshot it by 5 years.
Yeah,
but
right.
but that
You're
was
in the ballpark.
That was a connection point.
Yeah, it was. It meant something to me. It sure did.
I wonder what that's going to be like because now you've got a guy like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. that's like, here's a Kennedy in the White House again. Now, is it the way that you kind of expect it to be? No. But here's a Kennedy in the White House. And I think that there's something there. Yes,
bit. Yeah.
There's something that's to it that's there.
Yeah, I think it's important. It was probably important for him.
I think we're going to be those people. And I think the other part that breaks my heart about this, it's not just the ages of Charlie Kirk's kids. You don't know what they look like because they made it a point to keep them out of the public eye.
Mm-hmm.
Every picture they're in, you can't see their faces because there are crazy people out there, and they wanted to make sure that at no point were their children ever possibly going to be harmed. And this happens. And so if you're just joining us, they have a suspect in custody. Like, that was broken by Donald Trump. This person was turned in by this person's father. And according to Donald Trump, there was a minister that was involved in law enforcement that convinced the dad, you got to turn this guy in. You got to turn the son in. So we'll see where it goes. But I guess I keep going back to, like, as you grow up, you've got some monstrous shoes that you should never try and fill. But, like, what do you do to justify that this is the way, like, and similar to RFK, here's how my dad passed, here's how my uncle passed, here's what I need to accomplish in order to at least kind of fill that hole.
Or maybe it's the exact opposite, Los. Maybe they don't want any part of it.
Maybe they don't want any part of it. It's entirely possible.
And I would understand.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And the amount of athletes that have stepped forward.
Oh, dude.
This is where you know the culture's changed.
Yeah.
Odie, I hope you're still with us. When I said we've won the culture war, the amount of athletes that 5 years ago couldn't wait to tell you, hey, hands up, don't shoot. Hey, George Floyd got murdered. You have athletes that are stepping forward and saying, I've got that family. I'm paying for this. I mean, you got Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the league. That's like, here's what I'm donating. You've got hundreds of thousands of dollars that people in prominent positions are saying, I'm making sure that family, because they were all fans of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
These young people that you would never imagine, like, why is a 24-year-old wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings like Charlie Kirk? Like Charlie Kirk.
But you know what's even more beautiful about that? It goes over racial lines.
Yep.
It goes over everything that they want to divide you on. They're not able to. They're not able to.
Being free to share your opinion is universally valued. Again, I love the fact when people share with me smart opinions, dumb opinions, hateful opinions, all of it, because it gives me a better picture of who I'm around. And granted, I like taking part in dumb opinions. I love conspiracy theory. What happens when they're hateful? Like, don't need to be around you. Don't have an interest. We don't have a whole lot in common here.
Des Bryant quotes out or tweets out, seeing people excited about Charlie Kirk dying are effed up human beings, sending love to his family. These are athletes. These are people that are not supposed to have anything in common. Every day the media tells you, social media, mainstream media, the leftists in the country, they tell you that there's nothing in common between those two people, and they couldn't be more wrong.
They're the ones that are donating because they respected what he was doing and they were touched by him.
And moved by it. That's exactly right, man. Don't you let them tell you anything. Use your eyes, use your ears, use your common sense to guide you, and it will never steer you wrong.
When we start the 9 o'clock hour, I'm going to tell the audience about what you did in the 6 o'clock hour.
I don't know why you have to do this.
It's the greatest tease ever.
This is a horrible.
If you were here at 6:03, we're going to tell you about what happened.
Horrible idea.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
Sometimes coming up with a pithy little commentary, an interesting and captivating 2 minutes is extremely difficult. One of those times is now. I have tried, but I just can't come up with any understanding at all of why so many seemingly normal-looking people on the left are actually celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Have any of these people ever watched his videos, or have they just listened to what fellow leftists have said about him? Did he ever insult? No. Did he ever threaten violence? No. What did he encourage? Conversation. That's it. In one video, a liberal runs up to him and snatches the hat off of his head. People start to chase that person. Charlie Kirk says, no, don't chase him. Let him go. And as they're running away, he says, would you like to have a conversation? He was a conservative, an effective one. But all he did in these little meetings on college campuses was ask people who disagreed with him if they would like to have a conversation. And that made him an avowed enemy of the left. The leftist media portrayed, "Would you like to have a conversation?" as hate speech. Being able to actually define what a woman is was hate speech. Any opposition at all to abortion on demand was hate speech. And when they find this shooter, if he's still alive, and they will, there will be immediate attempts to launch GoFundMe campaigns to give him money, and female college students proclaiming their undying love and desire for him. I don't get it. Maybe by the time I'm on the air this afternoon with the Kimmer, the light bulb will come on. But right now, all I see is darkness. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. Rioters who attacked the Capitol on January 6, 2021 were pardoned by President Trump, and many now want compensation for what they believe was unfair prosecution. A proposal put forward by a lawyer for the rioters believed they're owed reparations by the federal government. On his first day back in office, the president granted clemency to those who stormed the Capitol. Despite now being free, the rioters now want financial restitution. A lawyer for the rioters, Mark McCloskey, stated during a public social media meeting that he recently met with senior officials at the Justice Department and proposed a plan to establish a special panel that would award financial damages to the rioters. It's inspired by the appointment of a special master to disperse funds to victims of the September 11th terrorist attacks. It would review rioters' cases individually and assign them amounts based on the harms they claim to have suffered from the federal government. McCloskey became known nationwide when he pointed an AR-15-style rifle at social justice protesters outside his home in St. Louis in the aftermath of the murder of George Floyd. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Fox News alert. The suspected gunman in Charlie Kirk's assassination's in custody. I'm Dave Anthony. President Trump broke that news on TV a short time ago, telling Fox and Friends.
I understand it, and again, subject to change, but, you know, the facts are the facts. We have the person that we think is the person we're looking for. But they drove into the police headquarters, and he's there now.
The president says a minister and the father of the suspect played a role in his capture. We expect an update from the FBI a little later this hour from Utah, where Charlie Kirk, a conservative activist, was murdered while addressing a crowd at Utah Valley University at one of his campus events debating students. And the president also says this about the gunman.
I hope he gets the death penalty. What he did, Charlie Kirk was the finest person. He didn't deserve this.
The president also told Fox he's picked the next city for National Guard troops to crack down on crime.
We're going to Memphis. Memphis is
that's the next city.
Deeply troubled, and the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy, and the governor, Tennessee. The governor is happy.
The president also says he still wants to help Chicago and Illinois, but the Democratic mayor and governor keep resisting. The president also claims Washington, D.C. is crime-free after he sent troops and federal agents there. We're learning more about the student gunman who shot up Evergreen High School in Colorado on Wednesday, wounding 2 classmates.
According to the Denver Post, social media accounts appearing to be connected with the shooter are littered with references to mass shootings and anti-Semitic views. The school's lockdown procedures are being credited in preventing the shooter from reaching many more of the students, and both of those victims are in critical condition, according to police.
Fox's Chandler Painter, the teenage gunman, is dead. He shot himself. A student at the Naval Academy in Maryland is hospitalized after being injured during what ended up being an active shooter false alarm. That student mistook naval security forces who'd responded for an attacker and attacked them and was shot and wounded in response. America's listening to Fox News.
Since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's greatest heroes and their families. Heroes like Mark Holbert. Mark enlisted in the United States Army and served multiple tours, including 3 in Afghanistan. On his 4th tour, he stepped on an improvised explosive device and lost 2 of his fingers and both legs. Tunnel to Towers provided Mark with a mortgage-free smart home, which enables Mark to live more independently. Support America's heroes, like Mark. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Wake Wake up with the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 Atlanta.
Tug and Los until 10. Thank God it's Friday. It is Friday. There is reason to smile.
You think the caller's going to save you?
I was hoping, are they available right now? It's almost like
it's like a lifeline.
Remember Christmas Vacation? Get me somebody, anybody.
Give me somebody, anybody.
Get me somebody while I wait.
I don't want you to tell anybody about what happened at the 6 o'clock hour.
I don't know why we have to go down this road. I feel certain we need to go to the call. You should probably talk to Stephanie. She's very important.
Oh yeah, Stephanie, welcome to the Morning Extra.
Thank you. I don't know, Tug. Maybe we should hold off.
Stephanie, good to talk to you. I hope you have the greatest day ever. Talk to you later.
All right, I'll save you for just a couple minutes.
All right, yes, ma'am.
All right, so y'all know I'm down here in Savannah for a wedding for my nephew. We heard the news in the car on the way down. My son texted me, and he said, "Did you hear Charlie Kirk was shot?" So we immediately turned on the news. It was devastating the whole ride down. But the legacy that's going to come out of this is all of these young men and these young women who are here have been talking about it, and it has broken their hearts, but they're getting married with a minister. They're going to raise a family. And yes, the women do work. I know it's shocking that people would think Charlie Kirk actually wanted that. He did want that, but he wanted a traditional family as well, and that's what these women want, these men want. They want to raise a family, be parents together in a loving, Christ-centered home, and I think that is a beautiful legacy because I have been surrounded by such love from these people, and that's what I'm going to take away from this weekend, along with the fact that I am not being silent anymore. Instead of listening to the idiots on mom books, as we like to call it, on Twitter and not responding and just ignoring them, I'm speaking up, and I don't care what the consequences are because he paid the ultimate price for his principles, and I love that there is a legacy that now more people will do that.
Stephanie, if
pay the price.
I want to ask you about this because you do have high school age children. Has it been surprising to you? Because obviously you see this on a regular basis. I've been seeing this with my high school age daughter. This has hit young people in a way that I don't think the rest of the country understands, that this was, whether it's the TikTok videos, whether it's the stuff that he had out there, this was their beacon of, this is a guy who's telling us how it is and how to live a life that's going to be fruitful moving forward.
I've seen that as well. During the last election, my kids would sporadically say what's going on. They would ask questions, but nonstop, all of these young men and young women down here have had the news on. They're constantly talking about it. We're in the DMV right now talking about it. It's been on. That's why I sent y'all the news that, hey, we've got the guy in custody, because we've had the news on. It has been nonstop. It really has affected them in such a way that I've never seen. And I've always been active since I was a teenager in politics. I've never seen this.
Well, Stephanie, thank you for the call. And I will tell you this, make sure you keep the app on. We're going to get an FBI update here in just a matter of moments. And so, we'll carry that just to let everybody know. This is going to be from Orem, Utah. When we get them on live, we'll go ahead and carry that so we can get a rundown from the authorities, just as we did yesterday in the 9 o'clock hour, an update on the case, and hopefully with the news of the apprehension, maybe even a name.
It's, to me, unbelievable, the people that engage with this show. And I'm so grateful for people like Stephanie. And
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful for people like
even Odie or Kevin.
Kevin and Odie that called earlier.
I would imagine even Liberal John right now has been listening all week, just following this story.
I would like to think so.
And I would like to think, because, as I've said many times, there's about 85% of stuff that we agree on. The world makes us want to kill each other over 15%.
What they've told you to.
But this shouldn't. We should not be delving into the 15% when you're talking about somebody who deserves to die for sharing an opinion.
That's exactly right.
Especially in the way that it was so public and so gross. That should be an affront to anyone who cares about the civil society. I've said this many times before. If you want to beat me, let's do it in the arena of ideas. And you know what? If you beat me, I'll be like, all right, great. But if I beat you, okay, great. And then we'll go have a beer. But that's the way it should be.
And now that's really the reflection that I want our show to be to this community. I want Stephanie to take ownership. And like she did. She's calling from Savannah. She lives in Cumming, calling from Savannah.
Like, I got to tell you what's going on here with these young people.
Yeah, I love the fact that she wanted it. I love the fact that Odie is such an incredible guy and has such insight that he wants to share with you listening right now, just as much as he wants to share it with me or Los. I hope this is the moment that this radio station and this show specifically becomes a community. It's no longer just here's what I listen to. I want it to be here's what I'm involved with. These are the people that I interact with. We exchange ideas, and sometimes we'll agree and sometimes we'll disagree. But 85% of the time, we're right there together. The other 15%, man, we're gonna debate it out, just like Charlie Kirk debated it out with the people that he disagreed with. But I want this to be a different platform. I don't want it to be us and them. I'm calling them. I want it to be you're calling your friends, you're calling the people that you interact with, you exchange ideas with.
There's a radio station I worked with in Dallas, The Ticket. It's a legacy station now. At the time, it was about 4 years old when I was there. And that was the morning of 9/11. And I was the only intern who showed up because I just thought, well, you just show up to the radio station. This is what you got to do. And I ran around that place like a madman for the entire time because station management, when it came to our sports station, decided we're not going to network.
Oh, my.
We're going to stay with our guys, and they're just going to talk to you about what they're seeing and what news they're getting. And it's
a brave move.
That changed. Yeah, it was Bruce Gilbert, one of the great programmers in all of radio. It was a genius idea to say people want to hear from the people they're used to listening to. It's like, let's not send it to network, somebody they don't know. Let's keep it here.
That gives this delivery like this. Here's what's happening.
And it created a bond that was incredible. And so I'm hopeful that through this tragedy, we've been able to create a little bit of that in that we've talked about this with a whole lot of honesty, a whole lot of optimism, and sadness. And that hopefully we can all be like, this is what we've all been going through. This just doesn't happen. This is not regular. We shouldn't be talking about 3 assassination attempts of prominent people and one of them being successful. We've had to do 2 shows afterwards of assassination attempts. It's crazy. All right, we've got a couple of minutes, right? Looks like we're getting close to going out to Orem, Utah. Just give me the thumbs up when we're good. We are going to be taking the FBI update on the Charlie Kirk assassination suspect. If you missed it, Donald Trump did say on Fox and Friends this morning that they do have a suspect that's in custody and that person was turned in by their father. So as we're still kind of in a holding pattern to see as they're kind of getting everybody prepped up, letting the first person let them know that, hey, we're going to have somebody coming up to talk. Hopefully we should be able to get an update on who the person is and at least some more information going on here.
Blair's on hold. Blair, let's talk to you. We may have to cut you short, Blair, if we go out to this FBI update, but what's on your mind, pal?
Hey, guys. Just wanted to echo Stephanie's comments. I have younger kids. I have an 8th grader and a 6th grader, and they heard about the shooting. My wife and I tried to do as best as we could to insulate them from the world, and now this comes about. But it gave me an opportunity to talk about Charlie Kirk and the impact that he's had, how he's able to use his platform to be a witness for Christ.
Amen.
And that's really what I take comfort in, knowing that he's celebrating with our Savior right now. And that brings me comfort, because this has affected me. Just Charlie was a great guy. He had an impact on so many people, just like you guys were talking about yesterday. The 3 million voters. That's a huge amount of people that he impacted. So,
go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the 3 million people, yes, but think about that was just moving them to vote. Think about how many he influenced overall. That was the only comment I was going to make.
Influence your kids and mine.
That's what I'm saying. That number has got to be in the millions and millions and millions. What were you about to say? I'm sorry.
Absolutely. And Tug, I just want to say I admire the way that you honor your father. I've always admired that. It shows that you were a great son. I unfortunately lost my dad last week, but I know that he's no longer suffering. I know he's in heaven with his Savior as well, and that brings me joy. But I just wanted to let you know that keep talking about your dad. It sounds like he was an amazing man, and I just think the world of you for doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Blair. Thank you for the call. It's an excellent call. And I'll tell you, it's really hard to insulate our kids from this stuff these days because it's everywhere. I didn't want to see Charlie Kirk get shot. Okay, like I heard the news. I went on social media to see what kind of news, and I couldn't scroll fast enough
away from
to see it over and over and over again. Now think about what happens when you are that 12-year-old, that 14-year-old. Like that stuff's hard.
Oh my God.
And so I was very cognizant of that with my 14-year-old. And I was very cognizant of my 11-year-old. That this is what it's going to, and we can all say, well, keep your kids off of social media.
Okay.
You just can't avoid stuff this way. Like you try your very best. So you got to talk.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Do you know if your girls have seen that video?
I'm fairly certain that my freshman in high school has. Yeah.
Like the entirety.
She knew. She's the one who brought it up with me. I was very surprised because the MO is young men.
Yeah, of course.
And her as somebody she's very mature. She's very mature for her age. She's very worldly. She loves history. Like when other kids they had a book report and other kids were writing on like, hey, let's talk about the state of Georgia or let's talk about, the founding fathers. She did hers on the Manhattan Project.
She's such a cool kid.
Okay.
Like, cool kid.
I was like, all right, you caught some of dad there.
Yeah, seriously, you got nicked.
Like, yes, exactly. You got nicked by your dad's problem. Your dad is really into documentaries and really into history. You couldn't avoid it.
That's right.
So I know she could handle it.
No, sure.
But also I knew that she's not somebody who's going to run away from this stuff. She wants to know what's going on in the world.
That's such a sign of so many levels of maturity, emotional maturity. The reason I ask is because my son's about 7 years older than your daughter, and when he described what he saw, he was like, I wish I hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
I just wish I hadn't have seen it. He was like, I can't unsee it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I feel, because I did my very best not to see it and did anyway.
It was in your face.
You couldn't miss it.
You could not.
And that's why it's so important to be engaged like Blair is with his 8 and 6 year olds. You are, I am. That's why it's so important to engage with your kids and talk about these, talk through them, ask them what they've seen. Unfortunately, I think you'd be surprised at some of the things that they've seen on social media and the things that you're probably struggling with.
They know,
dude.
They know a lot more than you think.
They absolutely do. And they've seen some of the most vile and disgusting things that you will ever see. They've already seen it. Please, whatever you do, don't act like it ain't happening, because it is.
They'll know about it.
They'll know about it, yeah.
We do have an update on this. So this is going to now come down at 9:30. Okay. 9:30 local
14
time.
minutes.
It's going to be 7:30 there Mountain. So we're about 14 minutes out. So we can finish up this segment and then we'll ride this thing in, because even if we can clear a bunch of spots, we're produced on the fly.
There we go. Yeah.
It's like just so we can carry as much of this as possible, because obviously this is great news. This is a wonderful way to end out this week, that reportedly the Charlie Kirk assassin has been apprehended, although they were apparently, and this is what we're going to hear about, turned in by their family member. So they were driven to the police station and here he is.
Can't imagine where this kid, I can't imagine where he was steered wrong. And there's so many ways for kids and people, not just kids, people, to be steered in a completely wrong path. But there's a difference in I got caught speeding.
I smokes with cigarettes.
Yeah, I smokes with cigarettes, and I want to do thug things or whatever that will get.
I want to do hood rat things. Listen, it's
great
from
little
15,
video.
20 years ago.
Great little video of this kid who's 7 years old. He steals his mother's or grandmother's
car.
And he was like, yeah, I just wanted to smoke some cigarettes and do some thug
I want to do some hood rat things.
That's it, hood rat things.
It's like, why did you do that? Because I want to do hood rat things. I've never forgotten that.
No remorse either. He was just like, that's what I really wanted to do.
He doesn't have remorse until he finds out that his grandma's going to put a beating on him.
Yeah.
That's how it ends. He's like, Grandma going to have to pay for that? And that's when it's like, uh-oh.
When the reality sets in.
We're in trouble here.
Holy cow, can you imagine the reality that's setting in with, he's facing the death penalty.
Yeah. In the
That's
state of
the
Utah,
reality. That's the and his father had to take him in to the police station knowing that his son was about to face the death penalty.
An entire possibility. I'm guaranteeing there's going to be federal charges to go on top of this. He's never going to get out of prison. It's just a matter of, are you coming out on a gurney? You know? Or are you, how's this going to all play out? And so I think more than anything, we just want as many answers as possible.
But they're not going to be good enough.
And motivations for this.
But prepare yourself for it not to be good enough.
I don't think we're going to get a whole lot because this is still
it's
an ongoing investigation.
Super early on.
And the fact that we're going to get an update in 12 minutes, then at that point, we can at least have some answers as to how this all went about, because from how it sounds, this person made it back to their home and they were in relative safety in terms of they've evaded the police.
For now, I mean, at some point it would have caught up. There's not a chance it wasn't going to catch up at some point.
Think about it, Tug. He shot someone in broad daylight, one of the biggest influencers, one of the biggest names in the entirety of the country within his field. Okay, so this is something that I was going to make a larger point about at some point in the show, and it just we've had so many things going on, it's just not worth doing it. Short of the president, I don't think that there's anyone else you could shoot in this country. Because Limbaugh ain't with us anymore.
He was this generation's Limbaugh.
This was the biggest person you could shoot. Shoot a congressman, not a big deal. The way it works as far as real power in this country.
Sure.
There's a reason why you had the Kamala Harris campaign that was trying to pay influencers. This was the biggest influencer when it came to young people, and he was shot dead. This then becomes, how is this person able to evade capture for basically 2 days? You know, that's how big it is. Like,
no, for sure, running through your head.
Yeah, so that's why we definitely need to run with this at 9:30 and see what all the update is.
I want to hear from Charles and Canton really quick.
Yeah.
Charles, make it quick and what's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, I was just going to say that my son is a school teacher. He's teaching Georgia studies, and he teaches 8th grade. And he had one of his students come in because he has 2 flags on his desk, the Georgia flag and the American flag. And one of the students came in and slid the American flag down to half mast because it is affecting the 8th graders as well.
Yeah,
so he had an effect on all young kids, I would imagine.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Charles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, half mast all the way to Sunday. But the fact that person knew in 8th grade, I've been trying to quantify this. It is as much as when I said this is the MLK for young people.
It is. Yeah, that's right.
MLK was about the rights of what the people were fighting for during the 1960s.
Civilly, and he talked about nonviolence.
This was the warrior for young people.
It was.
Like, I'm going to listen to you, we're going to debate, and we're going to find a better path forward so that you can enjoy the American dream. And that resonated with young people in a way that I don't think that we can really get our hands around.
You'll never have another that has that kind of charisma, or it'll be a long time. Those are big shoes to fill. Charles and Canton, thank you so much for taking the time to call.
Thank you, Charles.
When we come back, we're going to hit the headlines. We're going to get that FBI update that comes down and in about 8 minutes here on Extra 106.3.
The Morning Extra has you covered until 10 a.m. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay Travis, and Buck Sexton at noon, and The Kimmer Show taking over at 3, only on Extra 106.3.
Hey, it's Tug. If your house needs that facelift, to make it that castle, to make it that place that you are so proud of when people come over, maybe it's friends and family, maybe it's from folks from church, maybe it's your own kids when they come home. You just want them to be proud of the place that they live, that you've worked so hard for. There are ways to spruce it up, get it back to that once feeling that you had, that the way you looked at it. There's a way to get that back, and you can do it through Southern Exteriors. They do great work. They're based in Jackson, Georgia. Let me tell you, just good folks. And these days, that's where I start. Are they good folks? It doesn't matter what the conversation is. Are they good folks? And that's where I always start. So start with Southern Exteriors, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. What you want to do is, ask them where should, because they'll come out and give you a consultation. They're like, hey, here's some of the things that we think would be great for your home. Or maybe it's, what needs to be done. Maybe it's you need new doors, you need new windows, shutters, you need a new roof, whatever it is. They can set all that into motion for you, and they'll give you 10% off, no matter how big the job, whatever job you choose to do, want to do, or 12 months, 0% financing. It's easy to get a hold of them, too. You just call them at 8779 Southern or go to southernexteriors.co. It's southernexteriors.co.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Front Office Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Kawasaki. As the sports season heats up, make sure your equipment runs like a pro with genuine Kawasaki parts from Howard Brothers, of course. When it comes to tuning up your outdoor gear, putting on new blades, perhaps swapping out filters, Kawasaki parts deliver the performance and reliability that you need to stay ahead of the game. So this season, keep your machines running strong with Kawasaki parts, because the game of maintenance, quality parts, all of that ends up making the biggest difference. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Kawasaki and Howard Brothers.
I'm Michelle Stovall, and our company has been family-owned and operated for 75 years. Check us out at StovallINC.com, or better yet, stop by our newly opened 11th store at 9500 Union Hill Road in Canton. At Stovall, we supply you with all your landscaping project needs, completely hassle-free down to delivery. Been dreaming of an outdoor kitchen, fireplace, or other custom paver project? We partner with Keystone Hardscapes for all your beautiful high-end concrete needs. We look forward to making your landscape dreams come true. Stovall has it all.
Fall is here, football is back, and so is the perfect time to celebrate with something unforgettable. From September 15th through the 21st, enjoy up to 60% off all bridal and fine jewelry in store during our big Percentage Week sale. As proud partners of the Georgia Bulldogs and Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, we know what it means to shine on game day and every day. But hurry, once an item is gone, it's gone. Visit any of our 3 locations, Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg, or book your private appointment now at SolomonBrothers.com for the best selection and service. Family owned, trusted for generations, and home to Georgia's largest selection of fine jewelry. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, luxury, value, legacy. We will run out of the hottest items. Do book your appointment early and don't miss the Percentage Week, September 15th through 21st only. Solomon Brothers, where Georgia celebrates luxury, value, and legacy.
I've advertised a lot of things on radio over 50 years, from vacuum cleaners to booze, but only once have I advertised something that I knew for a fact saved my life. And that's what this particular commercial is. An advertisement for CPAPs, ETC, CPAPs, etc. I've been using a CPAP at night for over 20 years. Obstructive sleep apnea. It will kill you. If you think you have it, get a test. If it turns out you do have it, contact Roddy at CPAPs, etc. The largest in-stock selection. Travel CPAPs, batteries, hoses, masks, everything. You can visit their store in Alpharetta or online at cpapsetc.com. Same-day shipping, you'll get it fast and at the right price. CPAPs, etc. Don't take chances with your health.
While fall temperatures are cooling down, the action in the stadium and on the field is really heating up. If you find yourself in hot water from too much celebrating during the game, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds for those at the bends to those who celebrate action between the hedges. At A Second Chance, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Friday, September 12th. One of the two men indicted in the shooting death of 8-year-old Sequoia Turner outside an Atlanta Wendy's that was burned during Black Lives Matter protests in 2020 has been convicted of gang and gun charges in Fulton County. Jerian McKinney pled guilty to aggravated assault and other charges. Prosecutors say he chased the Jeep the young girl was in after another gang member fired shots into the vehicle. He was sentenced to serve 20 years in prison. American flags outside a Kennesaw business were stolen for the third time in 2 years. A couple who works at Mulkey Enterprises replaced the 6 flags posted on Kennesaw Avenue before Thursday's anniversary of September 11th. Surveillance footage of the theft was turned in to police, but the couple's not seeking prosecution. They say they just want the stealing to stop. And more self-driving cars are coming to Atlanta. Rideshare app Lyft is launching its autonomous vehicle program in select parts of the city on Monday with limited hours. Lyft says trained operators will be in the vehicles during the launch in case they need to take control. Weather for today and the weekend, clear and sunny skies with temperatures in the mid-80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
9 o'clock hours brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. Waiting on an FBI update now that Donald Trump has shared the news that the suspect has been caught.
Don't think that I forgot that when we started off this hour and we started off this show, what you did to me. So before we get a chance to go to Orem, Utah, Tug Cowart
No, we don't have to.
had his computer out.
You don't have to talk about this.
And he wanted to show me a cartoon that both of us were touched by. And that cartoon had a microphone that was right up in the front of the page, and it had a caricature of Charlie Kirk being led away with his arm around him by Jesus. And he was asking Jesus about, will anybody pick up that microphone? And Jesus basically lets him know, yeah.
Someone's
going to come get this.
Someone will.
And when you turned to show it to YouTube, it scrolled down and it landed right on to the betting market of when the next marital aid is going to show up on the football field.
Neon green, what color?
And so everyone just saw a giant marital aid rather than the caricature, the cartoon of Jesus
and Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. So that's how we started off the show this morning. And it was the kind of laugh that I 100% absolutely needed. I needed that laugh so badly.
We've all needed it this week. This has
been a tough week.
Such a hard week. And it's amazing how something as trivial as that would prompt such hard laughter. It was so when it was supposed to be moving.
I looked at it and I go, that isn't what you described.
Yes, right.
we got a text. We got a text from our friend Austin who just says, "I'm so glad I was on YouTube for that."
What kind of filth are you peddling on this show?
Look at this YouTube.
How do you like that?
I named this one Jesus. That's not Jesus, Tug. No, it's not.
What do you mean? What do you mean? That is not at all what I thought it was. Dude, it was the, I don't think I've laughed that hard in quite some time.
Like I said, I've spent all week long just in the emotions, going back between sadness and rage and anger and then trying to forgive and all of it, trying to find that center. Yeah. Man, that laugh was so worth it. That was genius of you to make sure and pull out that marital aid and tell me that's the name you decided to call it.
I appreciate you giving me that vote of confidence.
What a plan on your part.
Buddy, I worked on it all night. I was like, how do I make this look like an accident?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him about that cartoon that I know really touched his soul. And then I'm going to show him a giant marital aid that's green.
And how much money you can gamble on it.
and
landing on a football field this weekend.
Which one do you think will land on the field during the Buffalo Bills game?
And it's so gross. Just the whole thought of it. It's just so gross to me to begin with.
How wonderful. All right, we're still in a holding pattern. We're supposed to get an FBI update. It was scheduled for 9:30. Right now, Fox News will be getting out to you in just a moment. They are currently at the podium awaiting the first person. They've had a couple of different authorities, whether it's been between FBI, the local police, and the ATF assistants when it came to tracking down as much information as they could about the 30-06 rifle that was used. And so after yesterday, where we got the update on how they were tracking the suspect, what we have as of now is that the suspect was reportedly turned in by his father. So we'll see.
With the assistance of a minister that was close to the family. And I can't just think that is by chance. And you can call me crazy if you want to.
Well, it's an interesting bit of symmetry, isn't it?
It is,
to close out the week.
Yes.
To close out a portion of this horrible story.
That was what Charlie's message was the entire time, is that his faith was the first and foremost, and for faith to be the reason that this horrible story comes to a conclusion. And does it make it better? No. Does it make it go away? Nope. But justice being done matters. That's why the Democrat Party is in such disarray, because they've abandoned truth. They've abandoned the fact that people who are victimized deserve the justice of their crime being seen through, and the perpetrator, the person that committed the crime, being punished. So, for years and years now, the Democrats have been like, no, it's the victim's fault. It's not the criminal's fault, it's the actual victim's fault.
We're going to be told, as we're still in a holding pattern here, the person who is accused of this is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson is going to be the name that's going to be put out here. There is a video that he had posted previously, and this actually has to do with when he received his scholarship to Utah State University. So there's already been a cross-reference that this is a person who is now accused of murdering Charlie Kirk, but at one point was just a regular student when it came to being excited about being in school. Are we good to go here? I know we got somebody at the podium as of now. Okay, yeah, they're still setting up here. They're still prepping everybody. Whenever you have these, you have one person after another that approaches the podium and will start giving instructions as far as what they're going to do, Q&A, who you're going to hear from. And so you're constantly watching as this person's like checking to make sure all the cameras are working correctly. So
Data Republican, which is a handle on Twitter, says make sure that you realize that Tyler Robinson is so incredibly common in Utah, like a John Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Do not spread, share, or assume any information about someone named that until you're absolutely certain that this is the correct individual. That way people don't get wrapped up in something that they don't belong in, which I think is so wise. Again, just being fair-minded, waiting until you absolutely know, not sharing things that will be damaging to someone that has nothing to do with this. Just having restraint, I think, is so important. You say it all the time, and I think it's so smart, Los, is...
I want to be right. I don't have to be first.
That's exactly right. You don't have to be first. It doesn't matter who's first.
So NBC reported Tyler Robinson is the name.
Right, but what he's saying is there's so many Tyler Robinsons.
That whatever gets associated to Tyler Robinson, you're going to have to cross-reference it quite a bit.
Make sure it's the right Tyler Robinson.
Because I'm sure you're going to, and that's the other issue, you're going to have to run through a ton of social media because you're going to try and find out what has this person been posting.
Yeah.
What are they about? What motivated this? What was their cause they were fighting for? And I use the finger quotes in the air for that. Hopefully the authorities here, when they get to the podium, are going to be able to tell us quite a bit as to maybe perhaps the motivations, or at least how the apprehension went from him turning himself in, and who was responsible for that, whether, what part of the family, or, as we mentioned before, somebody who was involved in the church and law enforcement who convinced the family that for the interest of probably his safety, you got to turn him in.
It's going to be a while before we get the why. And truly that's what people want to know. Why in the world? Like, what would possess you to do something so heinous? As just a regular kid, 22-year-old kid, he's a year older than my own son. What could possess you to do something so heinous that would change the course of humanity? Could change the course of the world?
Well, change the country, without a doubt.
Absolutely change the country.
Change the entire mood of the country. And that's part of the problem. So many of these people that look, and most of the time it's mass shootings. And I think that's where when the authorities talked about a targeted attack yesterday and that the rest of the public was not in danger. If he wanted to shoot Charlie Kirk and then turn it into a mass shooting, that wouldn't have been a problem based on where he was.
And it wasn't. That wasn't his goal.
That was not his goal. And so what's different about those mass shooters, oftentimes they're trying to leave behind a manifesto. They want you to remember them. The Minneapolis shooter wanted you to remember that person because that Minneapolis shooter wrote about all the people that had been involved in mass shootings that he happened to hold in high regard. He wanted that legacy. I don't know what the story is with Tyler Robinson, but when you do something like this, it does change the country. It changes the entire temperament of it.
And it won't ever be the same. It can't ever be the same. And look, there's going to be, it won't be the same in a negative way, for sure. There's plenty of that. But don't forget about it won't be the same in a positive way because of what Charlie meant to so many people, what his message meant, and how it resonated with so many people because of the purity of it, because of the goodness of it, because of the truth of it. There will be positives, and I know it's hard. It's almost impossible to see a silver lining in something so brutally ugly. But mark my words, there will be.
I think that helps fulfill kind of a legacy and kind of set the mood of this thing. It was so graphic. It was so gross. It was such a horrible thing to see that I think that's added some fuel to all of this where, just as we've heard from other people, why did you go vote in that election? Because this really upset me. Why did you decide to talk to your kids about this scenario? Because what I saw when it came to Charlie Kirk upset me. This is a motivating factor. Had this happened and we never saw it, I don't know if it's the same. But because it was so public, it is a giant motivating factor, at least to me.
There's no question. It's impossible not to see that. And seeing people saying, I'm done with this. And whether they're talking about the Democrat Party or leftist politics or any other thing culturally that is not positive, that is not good, and they're moving away from it, that is all part of Charlie Kirk's legacy. That is the positive. There's so many, and I feel like I need to reiterate it because there's so many positives that are going to come out of Charlie's life. The 31 years that he lived that will live on for the rest of time, that will never, ever, ever be taken away. And you can learn from it today, and you can learn from it 50 years from now, the value that Charlie Kirk brought.
Can I give you some levity and brevity as we await the FBI to start giving us an update?
Please do.
Another positive is that you have managed to fire off heinous 3 times in front of me in the last 48 hours, and I have not said my typical response based on what this story is, and that is a respect for Charlie Kirk. I would normally say the anus, this anus story, and then we would have our wheels shot off.
That's right.
But in respect to the scenario, I have held my tongue.
You've done well.
I have allowed you to say this one word.
Look at the maturity that you've just shown everybody.
I understand the gravity of the situation, and
Yes,
I have made it a point to act mature in it, even though
you've wanted to not.
I've gone to I've thought to myself, I would normally drop this right here. I would say this phrase, and Tug gonna be mad, but I'll keep it to myself. I'll keep it to myself here. Are we getting a further delay?
That's what it seems like. There may be a delay up until to 10 o'clock. If that's the case, then
I get. All right. So,
okay. We'll take a
well,
break
all right.
here.
Let's take a break and we'll get back, and maybe we'll be able to go ahead and do this. If not, we've got some fun audio for you on the back end.
And the anus is on you. Thank you
for you to get back here.
News, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Friday, September 12th. A big weekend in college football for the locals. Let's start with Georgia Tech. They're going to host 12th-ranked Clemson starting at noon tomorrow. That game will kick off at that point. As for 6th-ranked Georgia, they're on the road in Knoxville taking on 15th-ranked Tennessee. That game will kick off at 3:30. The Atlanta Braves, they welcome into Truist Park the Houston Astros for a weekend series beginning tonight. The Braves look to play the role of spoiler against their 2021 World Series competitor. The Astros are currently tied for first in their division. First pitch is set for 7:15. You can hear that game live on our sister station's brand new app, 680 The Fan. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but let me tell you why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out from the rest. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Everybody wants to play. Many of the local HVAC companies, though, have been sold to large conglomerates. And some are even coming back under new names. But at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947. And their dedication to our community has never wavered. They are the Grand Slam you can count on. Central's team of experts know the game inside and out, delivering dependable service and personalized solutions every time. So don't get caught off base. Choose the HVAC team that's always been in the game. Get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts, Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today, 770-GET-HEAT, or visit them online at centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Pete Davis here. Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to make picks and win money all season long. And the best part, you can play right now here in Georgia. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, passing yards, interceptions, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. And you can start with as little as $1. I play too. This season, I'm looking at Michael Penix Jr. to go higher on touchdown projections and Drake London to go higher on receiving yards. It's simple, it's fun, and it keeps me locked into every play. Download the app today and sign up with promo code 1063 to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code 1063. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog, and you can be next. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Georgia. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Hey, it's Los. We're here with Tom Mitchell, the honest car guy. Tom, I've learned a lot about this car buying process from you. Is that typical of most of the clients you've worked with?
Yeah, I'm finding out it's even more typical. I mean, people are learning more and more, and maybe it's because I overload them with information because I want to be able to sleep at night. I want to make sure you know everything.
Do I have to have a particular make and model in mind when I call you, or is it just open to anything I want?
It's open. I can get any make, any year, any model.
I might be looking to trade in my vehicle. Can you accommodate that as the honest car guy?
For sure. I mean, we love it when people want to trade in cars because honestly, it's best for you to trade in the car. Why? Because you get a tax savings.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the honest car guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Promises made, promises kept. The president is making the economy great again. He's securing the border for America's safety, and the mainstream media still wants to tear him down.
The media wants Donald Trump to fail. That's their goal. That's how they'll report his progress.
But we know the truth, and we give you the perspective that other stations won't. Atlanta's only conservative voice is Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. We're getting word that the FBI update about the suspect in custody in the Charlie Kirk assassination will move until 10, so about 14 minutes from now is what we're hearing.
9 o'clock, 9:30,
Yeah, exactly.
10. Okay.
Push.
Something's going on.
We will have that for you here on Extra 106.3, and we'll carry it as long as they have good information that's beneficial to you to hear. And so
just keep the app on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep the radio. Stay by the channel.
So easy to do. I want you to hear from this.
And Tug's going to stay here until 1 o'clock giving you commentary.
Buddy, I'm telling you, doing songs and dances would be great. I'm telling you, you're going to be blown away by all the
you ever seen that frog with the top hat and the cane?
Hello, my darling. Hello, morning. I'm like the WB frog.
That's right.
It was on Bugs
He's going to
Bunny.
do all of it. He's going to do all the show tunes he knows.
Which is, gosh, I don't know if I truly know any. I'm not like our.
You got 12 minutes to learn.
Our buddy Joe Virgin down at the Atlanta Braves Radio Network, he'd come down here and sing them. And he's a baritone too. He can sing them and sing them good.
Just call him Joe. Joe, we need you back over here for one particular guest moment.
Can you come sing some show tunes?
The rest of you we don't need, but we need this portion of you.
And I'll dance. I can do the dance for sure. A bus driver's experience listening to her kids, because we talked about how moved your daughter has been in 8th grade because of the senseless murder of Charlie Kirk. My son, a junior in college, and this bus driver, it's really encouraging. She said she was listening to her kids on the bus, and she actually wanted you to be encouraged.
My high school kids talked about Charlie Kirk all morning. Positive conversations about Charlie Kirk all morning. They're impacted. They're mad. But passionate, compassion all morning. These kids are smart. He touched them. They knew who he was. He made an impact on their lives. They talked about his debates. They talked about his topics. Smart kids. This impacted them. These high school kids, they know.
How about that? If you needed something to put a smile on your face today, let that be it. Don't let the horrible nature of what the world can do and did to Charlie Kirk discourage you. Do not, because that's the last thing Charlie Kirk was discouraged. Till he took his last breath, he led with his faith and his beliefs in the America that we all love and want to leave to our kids. If he wasn't discouraged, do not let yourself be discouraged. The Bible says don't be discouraged.
For every 1,000 million of those, there's going to be one or the other.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, that person is Stephen King.
Oh, man.
Who's in a full-blown retreat right now.
As he should be.
If you don't know, Stephen King tried to basically say, well, because there's one of the talking points that gets out there. Well, Charlie Kirk advocated for stoning gays to death.
No, he didn't. Never once.
And as people were like,
absurd.
Okay, prove it.
Absurd.
And as they posted what he had to say, and Charlie Kirk was very simple about this, these people should be married and they shouldn't be kicked out of our movement. It's like they're part of the movement.
He was so clear about it.
He's like, here is what I believe. To the point now where in the last hour, I can't tell you how many times Stephen King has says, I've apologized. I have apologized.
Oh, no.
I have apologized.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You ran
with something.
You stepped in the beehive. But this is this is finally caught up with Stephen King. How many times has he done that exact same thing?
It's taken this, and this is where it's different. This is where things have changed. This is where people are being fired.
He's afraid of his own words.
Because he's got a movie coming out.
That's right.
And you don't have to go to it.
No, you don't.
You don't have to support it? You shouldn't.
And you shouldn't. Because I won't. And I'm not saying boycott anything. That's another misnomer on the right, I believe. People make their own decisions about what they choose to see, what they choose to engage in, what they choose to buy or not. And more often than not, common sense people hear Stephen King say that and like, oh yeah, I'm just not. They don't call people and say, hey, let's don't go see it together. Let's make sure we tell other people don't go see it. They've just made their own mind up. The silent majority has always been a real thing. And it has been on display.
It's The Long Walk, by the way, just in case you wanted to know, which is actually doing pretty solid reviews in Rotten Tomatoes, and he just sank his own movie.
Couldn't happen to a better fella.
Story by Stephen King. It's one of his books.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying don't go. I'm just saying that I will choose not to partake as a show of solidarity with those people that have chosen to not support him because of the crazy stuff he posts online in reference to somebody who was assassinated for a political stance.
I have apologized, y'all. I thought that was enough.
No, you don't understand. I've apologized. Not good enough.
Because your words are hollow.
And by the way, those kids on the bus, they know about it too.
Yeah, they do. They knew about it before we did. Most likely.
They're going to be like, did you hear about what Stephen King did?
They're so dialed in, man. They are so dialed in. But that's the thing. His words ring so hollow. And we didn't get to it earlier, but there were a bunch of Democrats that were saying the right things, but do their actions follow the words that they say?
I was wrong, and I apologize. I deleted the post.
Good, man. It's good.
I've apologized. Charlie Kirk never advocated stoning gays to death.
Isn't it interesting to see his tail between his legs and run for the hills?
But I have apologized.
For years, he's been able to lie, and no one called him on it.
I apologize for saying Charlie Kirk advocating stoning gays. What he actually demonstrated was how some people cherry pick biblical passages. He ran with what has been used to be like, ooh, let's make this guy look bad.
That may be the biggest victory we've gotten this week. The fact that Stephen King, who is a guy that just says the most vile things,
and he's on the run.
He's on the retreat.
This is how strong you know this is.
That this is a tidal wave that he sees, and he's like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" Not because he genuinely cares. Please don't mistake me for that, because I don't believe he actually cares. He just knows that he's in trouble. And of course, what do you do when you're in trouble? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Of course I didn't mean that.
But you don't understand. I apologized.
Yeah, that's good enough, right?
I deleted the post.
Yes.
We know what you thought because you got a history.
And I don't believe that you've changed your feeling about anything. I hear what you're saying. Let me see your actions follow suit. That's when we'll know, Stephen King, if you're worthy of us paying you attention anymore.
All right, we got the FBI update that's coming in a couple of minutes, so stick by the channel.
That's right.
Stay with us. Even if it runs into Kimmer, we will air it.
If it has a long press conference, good Lord, if it lasts all the way to 3 o'clock, I think...
Kimmer, you're not starting until 3:30.
Seriously, there's more detail to come. That'll do it for us, though. But thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for engaging with us. It is... We're so appreciative, and I hope you know that. I hope we always earn your respect, and I hope you always know that we're thinking things through and we're trying to deliver the best information and the best points of view that we possibly can. God be with you and your family. For Los and Jure, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it for free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensate for their testimonials, sponsored by Age of Learning.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for True Prep. True Prep, Atlanta's preparedness superstore, is not only the go-to location for security and preparedness, it's also the hot spot for incredible savings. Visit True Prep's new deals page to discover hot sales and clearance items on firearms, prepping gear, and more. Then, check out the used and consignment page for top quality guns and gear at unbeatable prices. Both pages update automatically throughout the day as new products are added. So check back often to snag the best offers. Check them out now at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com.
Fox on Football. I'm Jared Max. 7 months since the Eagles beat the Chiefs in Super Bowl 59 to end Kansas City's attempt at a third straight title. The Eagles and Chiefs will meet again this weekend, Sunday in Kansas City. America's Game of the Week on Fox, with Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt calling the action from Arrowhead, where the Chiefs will be looking to bounce back from their season-opening loss in Brazil to the Chargers. Kansas City, a small underdog at home against Philadelphia, which won the NFL season opener against Dallas. The Cowboys play another divisional game at home against the 0-1 Giants on Fox TV, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Among other early games on Fox, we'll see the 0-1 Bears at the 0-1 Lions. The 1-0 Steelers visit the 0-1 Seahawks. The 1-0 49ers at the 0-1 Saints. Coming off their Monday win over the Bears, the Vikings will play